of the Final Fantasy Randomizer. My name is Jat. I'm joined here in the booth by the Hangry Canuck. How are you doing tonight, Hangry?
Doing alright. Ready to watch a good race and talk a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got some interesting two loose flag sets here for you today, and our runners are going to be getting started any second, so racetime.gg, the gate will drop shortly, and we're going to have a good race. So do you want to go over a little bit of the flags that we're going to be seeing today?
Yeah, sure. We only have, like you said, we had the two loose. We do have a free canal, a free bridge, and a free boat, so they can go sailing right away if they want. There is some blurst classes, so some classes will not have their regular abilities. They might be less or they might be more. The only incentives we have would be Ice, Ordeals, and Marsh Cave. And War Mech is not wild, but you're probably gonna see him at one point.
Yeah, so definitely some exciting stuff. The only other thing of particular note is that we do have two kind of newer flags. We have shuffled Astos on, which means that Astos can appear behind any of the kind of key characters, not just the kindly old king. So maybe we'll have the elf prince be Astos, or we'll have Princess Sarah be Astos all along. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. And finally, we also do have Proc Gen Waterfall on. So Waterfall, where you just kind of keep going left. Well, that's all changing. We do not know where we're going to find the robot, and that's going to be something we're going to have to keep an eye out as our runners navigate kind of that crazy maze. And it looks like the gate has been dropped, so we shall be seeing progress on our screens in about... Yep, there we go. Right off the bat, taking a look at the white magic. Looks like we have, two okay healing spells in Cure 3 and Heal 2, but nothing top tier. And finally, we also have Brack and Warp. So what do you think of this level 1 magic, Canuck?
Well, I like the Brack because that'll give you the instant kill. And the Warp is going to be extremely handy, especially with Marsh being incentivized. Warp is going to be a big help.
Yeah, that's a really good pickup about Warp. So Warp, of course, is going to bring you up to the previous floor, and Marsh is quite a dangerous location for early level parties, so the ability to only have to go in instead of both in and out, because you can cast Warp once you get that incentive chest at the bottom, is going to be a big benefit to our runners.
It looks like we had gold bracelets for sale. Pretty cheap, too. They were only 9k. So that's going to be great for your mages in the early going if you get a lot of money up here.
Yeah, gold bracelets are best in slot. Well, outside of the opal bracelet, but they're the best thing that you can buy in the store for the mages. So that's definitely going to be something that our runners are going to want to remember for later. Let's take a quick look at our party comps. We've got a little bit of variety here. Any party that's standing out to you, Hangry?
I think Caleb's party is pretty good. With Warp and the two black mages, that's going to give him a pretty big advantage wherever he goes.
Yeah, I like the fighter Oreo, as we call it, because we have a black mage, a white mage, and another black mage. Especially because the black mages kind of make up for the inability for the fighter and the white mage to run, as the black mages actually have a pretty high chance. But on the other hand, Jay Shidell, with just straight up a thief in the party, that's going to be the best run chance of the game.
Yeah, it looks like Lumpy's picked up some money here. Jay Shidell has got a herb and a slab from the king and the princess.
Okay, so we don't have Astos in the very first two ones, but herb and slab. The herb is going to be turnable in pretty much immediately in Elfland Castle. Meanwhile, the slab is going to have to wait until we get both the canoe and the floater so we can get into the air. Jay Shadell, our first runner to show us the level 2 magic, Invis 2, an important late game spell. Meanwhile, black magic. Ooh, hello.
That's going to give an advantage Caleb right there.
Yeah, I actually really like that analysis. So, why do you say that's advantage Caleb?
Well, with two black mages, you're pretty much going to wipe anything out in two nukes. And I mean, at level 2, you're going to have 9 charges pretty quickly, so yeah, Caleb's going to steamroll most of this game here now.
I want to point out, too, that Chanigan also has 2 black casters, and as his red mage will be able to learn that nuke. So Chanigan definitely not falling behind in terms of having access to that extra black magic casters, whereas our other runners, it definitely is going to hurt to only have a single black magic caster, or in Jay Shidell's case, only a single black magic caster until his thief promotes into a ninja.
Looks Looks like we got some nuke going out on the pirates. It's a little bit of overkill, but should be okay.
Yeah, no other AoE spells at this point, so definitely makes some sense. And you know, Caleb and
Bastos could show up here when you talk to Vicky all of a sudden.
Yeah, actually, it's not possible for Astos to show up for Bicky, so if you're a runner, you don't need to worry about that quite yet. You know, the pirates have given you enough problems, you don't have to worry about Astos giving you even more problems.
Hey, Vicky had the Oxy Ale. You think he was thinking about turning his ship into a submarine?
Not a bad idea. I mean, Bicky is, you know, he does kind of retire later into potentially going to Gaia. Maybe a submarine is his next big plan.
Look at that, pro rings for 3k.
Ooh, dirt cheap. So, what do pro rings do, Canuck?
Well, pro rings give you resistance to most instant death spells, which is really, really good.
Yeah, they're also best in slot armor, providing 8 absorb, so they're just great, and 3k is just an absolute bargain for them.
So really, for 12k, you can outfit your mages pretty good with a pro ring and a gold bracelet.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point, and that's going to benefit, once again, the parties with more mages. Chanagan's struggling a little bit here against Garland, trying to punch him down. I don't know if he got unlucky just not getting Brax off, or if he hasn't been going for Brax strats, but either way, that's definitely causing a little bit of an issue for him. Meanwhile, both Jay Shadell and Caleb have kind of been holding hands. Luffy right behind them. Luffy's stream started just a little bit later, so it's likely that, you know, he's quite close to them as well.
I'm wondering about the Blurst classes here. We really haven't seen anybody look yet, so, you know, maybe if they would have looked at their classes beforehand, maybe these parties would have changed. Because maybe that red mage can't use black magic.
Ah, that's a good point. So, yeah, our runners did have a chance to take a look at those, but of course they were looking at them before they picked their party, so they were off stream. So I unfortunately don't know off the top of my head, but if we start to see, you know, certain armors being equipped by classes that aren't supposed to do so, or other things like that, you know, we'll point it out as we get there.
Yeah, because I know, who knows, if maybe the mages can't equip pro rings. So that could hurt Caleb a little bit too.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point.
And I see they got the quality of life. When you buy potions, you don't have to buy them by 1 or by 10. You can just pick the amount you want. That's also good.
Yeah, Final Fantasy Randomizer has one of the most active, fantastic dev communities, and we've gotten like tons of great new features and flags that have been coming out at a blistering pace, and one of them is that buy quantity flag. So instead of, you know, back in the old days, you either press the turbo button to buy 99 pots one at a time, or in my case, you enlist the help of a younger sibling. We now have the ability to buy as many pots at once as we want. Caleb, though, the first to kind of make an important decision here, deciding to go to Marsh. He does have other options available to him, but Caleb is well known for his love of Marsh, and it makes a lot of sense with it being an incentive location.
Yeah, but he's got 2 black mages with nuke and warp. I mean, you get down there and you're going to get out very, very easily. This is not going to take him long.
I 100% agree. That's a really good assessment.
Ooh, and a lit 3 hammer. Or something for your fighter to do while he's sitting around.
Yeah, or your white mage in this case, as I don't believe we've seen Fade yet. So Fade is the primary damage dealing spell for the white mage. Without it, they're only really going to be able to hit undead packs with harm. But Caleb is choosing to conserve his warp charges here rather than warping out, so, you know, playing a little bit more cautious.
Well, I'm pretty sure he didn't have enough money to buy a house, because I don't think they were for sale in Corneria. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any way to replenish his warps. So he's probably, like you said, saving them for the bottom floor than the top.
Okay, so a couple of pieces of information from our fantastic trackers tonight. RockSolid84 and Danny. RockSolid pointing out that Fade is level 3 in Elfland, so that white mage is going to have some damage dealing capabilities once they get just a few more levels. Meanwhile, we also have a loose bottle in Matoya's cave, which both Jay Scheidel and Caleb did not visit, so hopefully they go back there soon.
Yeah, see, and if the bottle's anything that might be well, that's one of the loose, so there's only one more loose left. And I mean, that bottle could be important.
Yeah, the bottle, of course, not, once again, like the slab, not going to be able to be something we can turn in until we both get the floater as well as the canoe. However, knowing the fact that there's only one loose left can be a big information advantage.
Yeah, because now that Caleb, well, if Caleb would know, but I mean, or Jay Scheidel, but did Chanigan go get it?
Chanagan just got through his Garland fight because he was struggling a little bit there. But I think he's
now.
Yeah.
Oh, he had Sahags with cremate. That's not a good time.
Yeah, it won't cause a lot of issues for our runners later, but for right now it's very, very annoying.
Yeah, I mean, like, Caleb is just gonna clear this marsh cave in no time with that lit 3 hammer and 2 nukes. I mean, there's nothing that's gonna stop him unless he gets jumped by something like this that might have something bad.
I was gonna say, I think he's already wiped once down here. I swear I saw him on this floor in the past, so I don't know what got him, but there's something dangerous in the marsh cave.
There always is.
Yeah. So why is there always something dangerous in the marsh cave, Canuck?
I hate marsh. I fail to comment.
Okay, so
Early game enemies, like everything stuns you or paralyzes you or first strikes you. It's just not a really good place to go in early levels.
Yeah, and that's definitely true. But also in the randomizer in particular, there's a large amount of different enemies there. And because the randomizer puts those skills and spells out randomly, it increases the chance that at least one of them rolled something nasty. And at this point, a single blizzard, thunder, never mind a nuke, would wipe our entire party. So, you know, if anything rolls anything in the marsh cave, it can be really, really dangerous. And we'll see how long our runners bang their heads against this.
Looks like Jay Scheidel's in there. He's going to give it a shot. And Luffy's heading in as well, so... Looks like Shanigan's collected a few levels and went and searched. I'm not sure if he's got Garland down yet or not.
No, he was having some trouble. So, Shanigan didn't realize that Brack was a good plan against him initially, so what he did is he's picked up Lit, got a few levels. Yeah, and he's just going for it a little bit, like, more vanilla-ish, I guess. And this plan will work, but it definitely has put him at a little bit of a disadvantage compared to our other runners. Learning the effectiveness of those insta-deaths against Garland is a really powerful tool in your toolkit for early game.
Oh, look at that trap tile.
Ooh.
That was some Agamas, but they took 3 nukes to the face and lived. Fiddle. Must be the loot.
Yep. So the fiddle is our multi-instrumentalist Sarah flag, as it's called, which just means we've replaced the name of the loot with any other instrument in the game except for the chime, of course, because the chime is another item. So that is the loot, which is something that, once again, required to beat the game, but not something that's of help for us right now. So kind of interesting, we haven't really found our, like, movement progression, as in we're still looking for the canoe. Maybe it's vanilla at the sages.
Yeah, the canoe is the big ticket item that they're looking for right now, because there's no Ryu can dock, so even if they find a floater, you still need the canoe to get there.
Oh, okay. Our tracker Danny also pointing out to me in our private chat that there's also a ribbon at Matoya. So Matoya having all the goods tonight.
Oh, now all that Crystal needs to give up is a floater, and, well, Matoya MVP.
It will be our own little Final Fantasy randomizer hide cave.
Looks like Jay Scheidel is walking out of marsh.
Yeah, so once again, choosing not to use warp or maybe out of charges, but this is definitely a lot more dangerous than just warping out of here.
Yeah, I think if I've had warp, yeah, maybe he just forgot.
Yeah, it looks like he realized it. Those were his last 2 charges. He gets out safe. He's got some save items, and he is out of there. Meanwhile, Chanagan is happy, and he will be very happy to see this nuke.
Well, we had Wall at level 4, so if they don't happen to find a ribbon, at least they have a backup.
Yeah, or even that with that ribbon in Matoya, having a second ribbon, so that way your White Mage, for example, can cast Wall on your fighter turn 1, while your life caster, the White Mage, has that ribbon, can be really nice flexibility for the end game.
Looks like the wolves have Stone Touch.
Ooh. Really annoying in the early game. Softs are really expensive, and you don't want to be paying for them just to revive a stone character.
Chain -4, so that's not really good for your fighter early game. Looks like we might have 4 people all wearing gold bracelets and pro rings.
Yep. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Just like early levels are more valuable than levels late, early absorb is more valuable than absorb late, and that's just because getting that all set up can really save you a wipe later, and having that early safety can make a world of difference.
Sharks have cremate too, so the seas aren't very friendly tonight.
There's a little bit of irony with all these seaborne enemies having cremate. This is a boiling hot ocean tonight we got.
Looks like Luffy seems to be putting a bit of a grind in here.
Yeah, not surprising. I was just talking about levels early being worth more than levels late. Well, you know, you're not going to get much better of a tile than Agama's, but the one issue is just like 3 nukes is a lot of resource expenditure and a lot of time just for 1 Agama.
Yeah, no, they're not a viable grind at this point in time. If you had a black belt, then yeah, you're remembering that tile for all you're worth. Well, if you had a black belt, you'd probably be 40 by now.
I think Luffy does, but I think he just wants to get out of here the first time. Unless that second character is a thief, it's a little bit hard to tell with the sprites that he's using.
Looks like Caleb is taking us through Earth Cave. And I mean, that sprite confuses me running backwards. Not gonna lie.
I agree. Now, Caleb is well known for his love of Earth and Marsh, but I kind of disagree, you know, with this play from a purely, like, percentage odds play. I don't think he's gone to Crescent Lake yet, and that is the most likely place for a canoe, but if he finds a loose item here, that could be absolutely huge.
Yeah, because I mean, if there's, like, say, a loose ruby in here, that could be a game changer altogether, because
yeah, for sure.
I don't think too many other people are going to come here besides Caleb.
Yeah, so he would definitely get a big edge there, but he also does have the rod. With that double nuke, is Caleb going to debate going all the ways to the bottom of Earth?
Well, you could probably make it. Really, with 2 nuke casters, I mean, you got warp, so you could check the floor after the rod plate, and that would save you some steps. You wouldn't have to, you could just warp back out. But the thing I don't like about this is that it takes a while to search all these chests because they're spread out.
I agree.
I'd almost rather come back here when I don't have any loose to find.
Yep.
And then you can just go mode this. So I think this is what's going to cost Caleb just a little bit of time.
I agree. Unless, of course, he finds that critical second loose here. Like, if he finds a loose canoe on Earth 4, that's, like, huge. So, like, this is a gamble. We'll have to see if it pays off.
Now,
Oh, go ahead.
If he had went to Matoya and found a loose bottle, you think he'd be checking chests in here as heavy?
Knowing Caleb, probably, but I think the odds-on play would be to avoid Earth with only 1 loose out there. With 2, this play does make more sense, though. Now, I did want to point out for those viewers who are just watching us on stream, this is our weekly race, which means it's an open entry. Anyone can come join and race and hang out and have a good time. Not only that, though, okay, we'll get to that in a second. This is a 9-player race, so although there's 4 players on stream, there are 5 runners off stream as well. So this is a pretty big race. So we won't be giving you updates on them, but if you want to check them out, you can come check out our Discord, see the racetime.gg, and keep track of their progress. But man, I was just talking about what a gamble this was. Did you see what Caleb just picked up?
If that TNT turns into your canoe or your floater, that's going to give Caleb one heck of an advantage right now.
Yeah, I mean, the only bright side for other runners is the fact that there's not really that many other places to go. Without the canoe and no northern docks, like, they can't really go anywhere else, but this has saved Caleb, if this is the canoe, a big trip all the ways to Crescent Lake, for example.
Like Jay Scheidel is just hitting up now. Yeah, I mean, if this TNT turns out to be something important, it's going to be advantage Caleb.
I think the best case for Caleb is that this is the floater and the canoe's in Crescent Lake. Because if that is the case, then the canoe opens up so many checks that these runners are all going to full clear. Yeah, meanwhile, Caleb will not have to.
If the canoe is here, I mean, people are going to ice because it's incentivized. Guaranteed. So, if the canoe is here, that's going to put off going to get the TNT. Because you're going to put Earth, of course.
Exactly. Yeah, I 100% agree.
Look, he's even checking the chest nobody's heard of before.
Yeah, this is once again because he hasn't gone to Matoya to check that bottle.
Yeah, so if he would have been to Matoya, he wouldn't be checking chests right now.
There is no incentivized, like, super great late game sword. So, like, until he finds a Vorpal or a Masa, or obviously Masa would be the best case, but, like, he needs something still. Like, you're not going to want to swing a defense sword in the late game.
Yeah, his fighter is still seriously lacking in some power.
Mhm.
He's gonna have to hope to find a nice endgame sword. Like if Jay Scheidel finds a katana, he's gonna be in business.
And there are 2 katanas. Oh, here we go. This is Astos. We have the Sage. It was Astos all along. But ooh, and he has no fade charges. He has a nuke charge though, so that should save him.
And we see a little speed bump here with a couple of nukes and some fades. This could be over quickly. But he's got the Lightning 3 hammer, so even if he doesn't have any nuke charges left, he should be good.
Yeah, that Lightning 3 hammer, a great item. I guess something we should mention here is Lightning 3 hammers, of course, not in the vanilla game. We do have item magic with balance shuffle on right now, which means you're not going to be getting nuke hammers, but you're also not going to be getting lamp hammers. You're going to be getting spells that are kind of in a middling range, kind of similar to what the vanilla ones are. So Lightning 3, of course, a small upgrade, but nothing too crazy. But that's going to be a really nice casting item for these runners.
The only risk here on Caleb's side is, I mean, he's still kind of low level, so this cave could still be dangerous if he hits something.
Yeah, nukes solve a lot of problems, but you have limited casts, and you can just lose a turn order battle. So, definitely not safe.
But it looks like Shanigan is going for Marsh now, so... Luffy's got us in Melman. I didn't really see what spells there was there, but...
Our tracker's got us covered, as is tradition. Rub, Lit 3, Bane, and Fire 3, so nothing really big. I did want to point out, just taking a look at the spells that our trackers have, currently we have not yet found Fast or Temper, so that late game damage dealing is going to be heavily sword dependent.
Yeah, definitely. And with the 2 black mages, I mean, even if Fast lands at level 8, you're still going to get some charges.
So Chanigan, pretty happy to see this Agama, gonna cast his fades and his nukes. And it does look like Jay Scheidel is being forced into Earth Cave. So, as I said, this TNT leading to the canoe, not the best case scenario for Caleb, as there's not that many other places for the runners to go. They kind of know Earth has to have a loose item. But, you know, Caleb is the first to get it and has saved himself a trip to Crescent Lake, which, you know, does help quite a bit.
Yeah, because this TNT is probably gonna end up to be our canoe one way or the other, whether it becomes the adamant or the crystal. But then, have we seen the herb turn in yet?
Yes, the herb turn in was...
The rod.
The rod, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this TNT has got to lead to your canoe. There's not a whole lot else it can. Well, it has to. Just one way or the other.
Yep, I agree with that assessment.
So if it turns it to the crystal, that's going to be big for Caleb, because then he's going to get his second loose.
Yes.
And that maybe he goes through Kraken and Sky and he doesn't have to check as much.
That's, yeah, absolutely. I do expect him to have to check until he finds a sword. I mean, he did just find a giant sword +4, which is okay. And I mean, it's great for the mid-game, but like, I don't think I'd want to be swinging that in Temple of Fiends Revisited, but...
Well, if you get enough tempers... And, I mean, you got 2 black mages, and if you got enough tempers, you can make any sword, but you gotta look at it. You gotta go through 5 bosses.
Yeah.
You're gonna need a heck of a lot of tempers to get through that.
Yeah, and temper's at least level 6. So, like, that's not gonna be the amount of temper charges that you're probably gonna need to get through with, you know, a sword like that. So, I definitely anticipate a few more boxes will be opened in order to facilitate better endgame weapons.
Looks like Luffy found some silver bracelets in Crescent Lake, which would be good enough armor for now.
Yeah, slightly worse than gold bracelets, of course, but we'll definitely do the trick. I always find it kind of ironic that gold's such a soft metal, yet it makes the best bracelets. I guess they're kind of more magical than physical, eh?
Yeah, but they're Cheerios. You gotta remember that.
Good point.
Ooh,
Cheerios to
level
file.
5.
Yeah, not bad. Slightly less important because of warp, but like still a nice spell to have.
Well, with the white mage, I mean, exit's gonna help because you don't get as many charges of warp as Caleb's gonna have.
That's true. And Caleb pulls her first fiend at the 22-minute mark, so we are taking on Lich. Saved a couple of nukes. This Lich will have a decent chunk of HP. Bosses have at least 150% HP, all the way up to 300%. So, like, this Lich, you know, not going to punch super hard or anything, but does have at least 600 HP. So, running out of charges here is a little bit of a concern.
Yeah, he's gonna try to Quake Lich, but... I mean, Lich doesn't hit very hard, and we really haven't seen any spells. Ooh, there was a big Quake. There was a big nuke, 333.
Oh, and the fighter's swinging for decent damage as well, so this will get the job done. Quake also has a pretty good chance to get it after enough casts. Ooh, but down goes a Black Mage. Caleb, you know, hoping that he can finish this off relatively soon. And there we go, 3 hits, 86 damage, and Lich is down, and Caleb has our first Orblet on stream at the 23-minute mark.
Yeah, so you can bet bottom dollar he's gonna fly back to check this TNT.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, he could decide to go check the sages first, but I think when you find that loose item, you'd like want to press your advantage.
Well, I like the fetch quest. I'm under the impression that if you have a fetch quest, do it. Don't go somewhere else, because with my luck with these things, the one fetch quest I skip will be the one I need.
Yeah. Luffy, unfortunately, going to go check Onrak Continent because he's thinking, hey, I have the Oxale, but unfortunately for him, Northern Docks is not on, so he is not able to make that, and that's just one of those flags that, like, for a long time, we had Northern Docks turned on, but recently we've kind of, you know, sometimes have it on, sometimes have it off. It can be hard to fight that, like, mental muscle memory.
Yeah, and Caleb's heading straight for the dwarfs right away. Meanwhile, Jay Seidel and Shanigan are both in Earth, so they're going to come across their TNT soon. So it's a pretty close race right now.
Yeah, asps with stone poison. So that is something that's definitely a little bit dangerous in here. People who picked up that ribbon early from Matoya's cave are going to have a small advantage, as they will be able to dodge that stone poison on at least one of their characters.
Yeah, I don't think anybody bought the pro rings yet, so...
Okay, and let's see. Will this adamant lead directly to our canoe, or are we going to be on a fetch quest? We get a hooray. Oh, sorry, TNT. I was like, why is he walking down?
But turn into the adamant, though. Lazy dwarfs, I have a feeling.
No, we have the crown. So that's another fetch quest. Using warp to get out of there quickly.
So that's pretty good. We got a bridge boss at the 25-minute mark.
And we do have extended open progression on, so that means we can go this way without the canoe. See that little gap? That's not there in vanilla, but we can definitely use it in the randomizer. Meanwhile, Jay Scheidel all the way down to the rod plate already. Going to be hitting up Earth 4 shortly and going to find that loose TNT. Caleb does indeed get the canoe, and Shanigan finishing clearing out Earth 1 alongside Luffy.
So now, Caleb's got a few options here, because both ice and ordeals are incentivized.
Correct.
And with no northern dock, you really can't get to Onrak without having the airship. So your best play would probably... I don't know if I'd hit up ordeals. I think I'd hit up ice first.
Yeah, I'm on the opposite opinion, just because of the fact that we have warp, which is going to make ordeals quite quick, and ordeals by ship is almost as fast as ordeals by floater, because ordeals by floater has a really long walk. Meanwhile, Ice Cave is way faster with the floater than by canoe, but I think both are definitely defendable, and like there's reasons runners might prefer one over the other. It does look like Caleb's going to make the ordeals play though.
Well, for me, I'd do the ice, because you could kick over the volcano and get rid of carry pretty deep while you're at it.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's like definitely a viable play as well. I 100% see where you're coming from, especially because Caleb doesn't know where the second loose is.
Exactly, but I see where you're coming from too, because if the floater's here, I mean, you're right in business. If the floater's in ice, you're in business, but it's kind of a 50-50 draw, right? Take your chances and hedge your bets.
Yep, 100%.
That's what they call it, rando.
Oh no. Wait, Shanigan skips the loose TNT room. Thunder pointing out, I don't think he's there yet, is he? I might be missing something, but it looks like he's on Earth 3.
Floor he's on. Let's see what floor. I remember where it was.
It's on Earth 4, right?
Yeah, he's past it. It's on Earth 2.
Oh, it's the bottom of Earth 2. Okay, so I have seen this play before, although usually it's from very veteran runners. What they'll do is they'll skip the bottom of Earth 2, finish clearing Earth 4 first, as it has higher chest density, and then come back in for Earth 2. But hopefully, Shanigan comes back, because that's going to be crippling. Now, the one... Sorry, I just saw that arachnids have nuke, but the one good thing for Chanagan is there's not that many other places for him to check, so he kind of has to come back here. But, you know, that's definitely going to be a time loss.
Oh, for sure. I mean, because, well, we know the TNT turns into your canoe, so... Meanwhile, we got Caleb heading through ordeals here. Well, that was quick.
Yeah, with Warp, ordeals is a really nice...
I don't even think he missed. I don't even think he had to use Warp. It looked pretty straightforward. Looked like it was only maybe 3 or 4 pillars in.
Oh, very nice. So the 4-pillar location has 1 that goes forward, 2 that go backwards, and 1 that goes somewhere random. And because of that, you can get a shorter than like going through all the rooms ordeals, if that happens to just move you quite a bit forward, I believe. So that can happen. Let's see here though. Turn our attention to the bottom left here. I don't know if Luffy's already checked the bottom room, but if he hasn't, hopefully he goes there now.
I don't see the TNT in his inventory, so we'll see if he goes.
Oh, will he get stone poison? Nope, so far so good. And he is indeed going in that direction, so that's good news for Luffy.
Like Jay Shidell is about to pull Lich. Caleb is about to give us what this would be, and oh, the key.
So we do not have Canaria Lock turned on as an incentive location, so that key is just, you know, a required item to beat the game. But, you know, always a nice pickup, as it can be in a lot of chests throughout this game, so not something you're unhappy to see. It also provides a lot of extra boxes that Caleb can open to potentially find that sword.
The blue dragon on the trap tile, not too bad, but not what you want to see. Meanwhile, Jay Shidell made short work of Lich, and Luffy's getting his TNT.
Really, so lots of action all around. Right now, Caleb with like a small exploration advantage, but other than that, you know, our runners are kind of following each other's footsteps, doing pretty similar things. We'll have to see if, for example, Jay Shidell makes the ice play instead of the ordeals play.
It looks like the floater, or what leads to the floater, has landed nice.
Yes, I agree with that. It has to be at this point.
It's going to be the adamant, the crystal, or the floater in ice right now.
Yep. And depending on where Caleb docks... Okay, he's doing some key lock checks first. Once again, he has not yet gone to Matoya, so he's still searching for a loose item. And I think he's doing this because he doesn't want to check all the chests in Ice Cave if he finds the loose earlier. But unfortunately for him, a Katana +3 is not going to help his party, but Jay Shidell is going to be super pumped about that.
Yeah, if Jay Shidell checks those chests, he is going to be pumped. This thief is going to be hitting everywhere near as hard as the fighter.
So I have the Katana as the second best or the best sword in the game. The only problem with it is that it's only equipable by the ninja, which severely limits its utility for most parties. But if you have a thief, Katana is just a fantastic weapon. Yeah,
well, the Katana is, I think it's equal to the Excalibur in power and equal to the Vorpal in crit. So you're getting the best of both worlds in a sword. Looks like Caleb is heading back for Marsh? Is he going to check Marsh Keylock?
He's going Marsh locked? No, Caleb.
Or is he going for that Agama?
No, I'm pretty sure he's actually... Rock Solid, our tracker, saying that he's pretty sure he's going Marsh locked, and I'm kind of inclined to agree. This is the most Caleb play ever, to go to Marsh locked for no reason.
It's not incentivized.
No, he just thinks there's a loose item here.
He's probably doing it for the memes.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a loose item here, he probably wins the race on the spot, but unfortunately for him, it's just sitting in Matoya's cave, just waiting for him to check it.
Yeah, so, I mean... But you never know, you know, Excal could fall in these boxes, Mazmoon, Devorpal, anything, really.
Chanagan, our third on-stream runner, to light an orb at the 32-minute mark here.
But now, see, he skipped that room with the TNT. So this is going to be... He's going to get to a point where he's going to be like, what did I miss? Where do I have to go? I think he's at that point now, and I don't know if he's realized he's missed the room.
Yeah, I don't think he's been to Crescent Lake yet. So I think he's going to Crescent Lake first, and then he's going to hit the uh-oh button. And we might see a bit of a think, where you just sit and think, where did I miss? Where did I not go?
I've been in that situation. It is not a pleasant feeling.
Yeah, definitely not. But, you know, as you said, we've all been there. So hopefully he comes up with the right answer, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, because that's the key to the all outdoors. Looks like Jay Scheidel's gonna check Keylog Topher, or is he just checking regular Topher?
Maybe he skipped these chests the first time he came here because he only had Brack. So yeah, it looks like he's gonna go open a couple boxes here. He also has
Rand in the top.
Yeah, he also has not yet gone in the loose bottle based off the tracker. So, you know, maybe he's going to go to Matoya next, which would also be a good play, like something that would help him for sure.
And now Caleb reset out. This is interesting. There was 11k in a chest. You know gold bracelets are sale for 9. You have warp.
Yeah, I mean
it's kind of a 50-50 deal there.
Yeah. He also, like, I don't think we've seen a shop item yet, so, you know, the shop item is, there's always one item that's for sale in the shops, because in the vanilla game, the Oasis vendor has the bottle. So we've randomized that, but that does mean that there's a vendor item available. And if we haven't purchased that yet, having some extra cash on hand can be really important.
Yeah, and right now, the only towns we haven't seen are Airship Lock. So we know our floater is not going to be in the shop.
Yes, that's correct. Luffy taking on Lich himself. Once again, big HP, but not really hitting too hard. So bosses have 70 to 220% stats, which are pretty high, but like nothing to be absolutely terrified of, especially for the first boss in the game that you're usually fighting around level, 10 or so without Fade and Nuke.
Might get more scary when you get to K2.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's going to be a terrifying fight. These runners are going to have to definitely have a plan. But Jay Scheidel also making the ordeals before Ice Cave play. Meanwhile, Shanigan, keep your eyes peeled because we're going to have to see what his plan is once he realizes that this is the chime, and uh-oh, I don't have the canoe.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's gonna... Because Ashel's with Scorch. That's not a big deal.
Medusas with crewmate, pretty annoying. But luckily Medusas aren't, like, in Temple of Fiends Revisited, for example. They're older cousins the Gur Medusas are. So not gonna be a huge deal.
So Warp and Fast have landed in 7 and 8. Temper and Fast have landed in 7 and 8. If they both land in 8, that is going to make the fighter a little less effective.
Especially because there's no power bonk for sure, or power gauntlets, which in the vanilla game casts Saber, which increases your damage, very similar to Temper. Because that's not going to be available for sure, that's a bit of an issue with these boss scalings.
Yeah, especially K2. I mean, if he's got a lot of HP, and he's hitting like a Mack truck on steroids, you're not going to get him down with a fighter with a sword and a couple of nukes. Yeah,
for sure. Like, Kraken 2 has at least 1,350 HP. That's not like, 3 nukes in a prayer range by any stretch.
No, if your 3 nukes hit max roll of 400, he's still living.
Yeah, and never mind the fact if he rolls 300% and then you're looking at a 2,700 HP Kraken 2. Oof.
Yeah, and he's hitting you for 10 hits, $1,000. It's like, it could be dangerous.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to have to see it. Now that Caleb has that information, he's going to have to adjust by trying to open a few more boxes to make sure that he gets an appropriate endgame sword. This is definitely an advantage to Jay Scheidel, because that katana is an endgame sword. No question about it.
Oh, yeah, that katana with a fast and a couple of tempers, that's going to put some work in.
Yeah, even without a bunch of tempers, it's got 37 power and 30% crit rate. So, that's a pretty good weapon. It's essentially the same as, a pre-tempered Vorpal. It's
pretty much an X-Cal Vorpal. X-Calpul, yeah, that's what we'll call it.
Caleb is our first runner in Warp. Jay Sheldon not far behind us. He's already got the key, got it out of Ordeals. As you said, that Ordeals is lightning quick. And, we'll have to see where they go next. Meanwhile, Chanigan in a little bit of a... Did I forget a chest in Marsh mode? So we'll have to see... Oh, no, where are we going?
Unless he's going to check the 2 boxes in the wharfs, because I don't think he's been there yet.
Hmm.
And he's found the 2 loops, hasn't he?
No, he skipped the critical TNT box in the Earth dungeon. That's the problem that
That's
he's
right.
running into right
He
now.
knows
Yeah.
Matoya has the bottle.
Hmm.
Ooh, yeah, he's probably gonna go check to the wharfs, and then he's gonna be like racking the brain. What did I miss?
Meanwhile, Caleb and Jay Scheidel both have not yet gone to Matoya to pick up their loose. So, unfortunately for Caleb, he's going to full clear Ice Cave, and that's where like someone like Luffy can pick up a bunch of time on Caleb if he decides that, hey, you know what, I'm going to skip Ice Cave and I'm going to check like the Volcano Armory for a weapon instead, which has much better chest density.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. I mean, if Jay Seidel decides to hit up Matoya's once he gets the airship, maybe just to check the boxes. But I mean, right now, I don't think Caleb or Jay Scheidel are hitting Matoya without a crystal.
Yeah, I kind of agree to that, and that's unfortunate because, ironically, the bottle could lead to the crystal.
Well, the bottle is probably gonna lead to the crystal. Or the sword good.
Yeah.
One of the 2.
Or it could be in Waterfall. That's like the best case scenario for Caleb and Jay Scheidel, I think, is that the crystal is in Waterfall. Because going to Onrak with early Brack and Oxale is a pretty, like, and no shop item found yet, like, those are all things that would drive me to go to the Onrak continent early.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I agree there. I mean, Caleb's next play has got to be the Onrak continent.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe it's...
Vorpal -2. Ew.
Ooh. Yeah, that's no good.
No, that's like hitting a pool. That's like hitting a cement wall with a pool noodle. It's just not good.
The only play I could see them doing before they go to the Onrak continent is maybe just finishing their slab turn-in anyways, because it's like, they can just do it if they want.
Yeah, you're gonna check Gaia anyway for an item and spells, so you're right there, so you might as well fly down south and do it.
Okay, so Chanigan didn't check the top of Marsh, so he's thinking maybe that's where he left his loose item. But unfortunately for him, this is also not where he needs to look, so hopefully, if you're a Chanigan fan, fingers crossed he goes to Earth 2. But like, oh man, if he full cleared that whole dungeon, I think it's unlikely that he, like, knows that he skipped that box.
Yeah, no, if he was he got the one that was well out of the way. The one nobody usually gets. So if you get that one, you know the other one's probably there too, the other room. So I have a feeling that he is, once he checks these, I think it's going to be, you're going to see a slight pause, and I'm pretty sure if we could read his mind, there'd be some cursing going on.
Caleb does finish clearing out the Ice Cave, and unfortunately just doesn't really find anything of particular value. Like, that opal armor is okay, but
yeah, but that's
nothing really much.
Tail, really.
Yeah.
And I mean, at this point in time, the tail's not overly important, I wouldn't think.
Only thing is
-2, so that's, and you can only use Vorpal for class change. So that's, you might as well just throw the Vorpal out the sky window now.
Yeah. The only thing is that it will probably allow you to cast fast. We do have a question in chat. Did Caleb exit out of ice without checking the incentive? So Caleb actually used the combination of the warp trick and exit. So he used the warp check to check the incentive, and then he used exit at the end, so he didn't have to take a few extra steps to the stairs.
It was the floater, so ice was vanilla.
Yeah.
Oh well, Shanigan is back in Elfland and sailing south. Now, without a canoe, he can't get to Ordeals. I wonder if he knows that.
I think he might be thinking Northern Docks.
But he was down here before and didn't see it, or was that Luffy?
That was Luffy, yeah, that was Luffy.
Okay, so maybe he's thinking maybe Onrak. But either way, this is really, really not good for Shanigan.
Yeah, not good, but you know, as I said, we've all been here before, so you know, keep your hopes up for Shanigan and send him good thoughts, send him lots of brown colors, and make him think of Earth Cave. Meanwhile, Caleb is our first on-stream runner in the air. Jay Sheldell not going to be too far behind him though.
Hey, you're talking to the guy who fought the pirates and didn't talk to Bicky. And roaming around for about an hour looking for something.
Yep. Oh, okay. Did you see that on
That
Caleb's side?
saber shirt.
Yeah, that's huge. So why is that so important?
Like the power bomb,
Yeah.
basically.
It's
One
like
cast of that is like a saber.
it's like minorly worse because the fighter who wants to carry it can't equip it, but like that's huge with really high level temper. That's going to give the fighter a win condition. Even something like that Vorpal with enough saber casts will be able to take down a fiend.
Yeah, but it'd take way too long, and I think the fiend would get to you first.
Yeah, that's a good point. But still, a really nice
Any
pickup.
weapon, like really, if you had an ice sword, if you had enough time to temper it up, I mean, it's gonna hit like a Mack truck. But
Yeah.
the fact of the matter is, are the fiends going to give you that time? Do they have double nuclears? Are they going to hit like a truck? It's a whole random situation, especially when their stats are pumped up that much.
Yeah, I agree with that. Looks like Caleb also skipped Temple of Fiends the first time around.
That is rare now. I mean, because these are 3 easy checks. And I mean, if you get some good money in one of these boxes, that could really put you ahead of the game.
Like, I skip them when there's no loose, but I often do them when there's loose. But at the same time, Caleb does get the nice kind of, like, check all the chests in one go when his party's safe. So, like, you know, no harm in this particular flag set. Or, like, no harm in this particular seed. Ooh, okay. Not great. It's something.
If the Mazmoon rolls a minus number, I don't know what Caleb's gonna do here.
Yeah, this just really highlights, like, just how good that katana could be for Jay Scheidel, eh?
Now, if I was Laffy right now, I mean, you know where there's an Agama grind. You have a black belt. You know where your 2 loose are. Would you grind your black belt now, and then you wouldn't have to check boxes for a weapon?
Yeah. I mean, if you have a black belt, that's definitely an option. We found the Agama tile. You don't have it with a free step, but it's doable. The problem is it's really high HP, so like your black belt's gonna have to be a pretty high level before it could start soloing it.
Yeah, I mean, you got 2 nukes and a fade caster, or a nuke and a fade caster. I mean, you could probably check the earth trap tiles because I don't think anybody has checked them yet.
Yeah, we also have access like now to the what's it called? Northwest Castle trap test. Yeah. Caleb did pick up a second ribbon in the Canaria locked, so that's a nice pickup. Meanwhile, Jay Scheidel's straight to the on-rat continent, so I like this play. We're still looking for a shop item. It's 2 and 3 chance to be here.
And he did check the Oasis. I've missed this one before. Key item at the Oasis, and you don't check it. Like, it's happened.
Okay, so unfortunately for Chanagan, he did a big think, and he's decided that he probably skipped a chest in Marsh, so we are back in Marsh and not going to be happy about it. But meanwhile, Caleb has found his second loose. So he now has the information that Luffy had a while ago, and Jay Scheidel will hopefully get soon. But let's see how many boxes Caleb opens. Now, here's Caleb's mind. He has 2 ribbons. That's really good. He has a saber shirt. That's also really good. But what he doesn't have still is that sword. So will he be okay with the Vorpal, or is he looking for more? Okay.
Ooh, fast and temper. Boat landed at 7.
Yeah. It's a little bit unfortunate because, well, I guess level 7 is better than even having them split level 7, level 8. You probably end up with pretty close to the same number of casts of them.
Yeah, and with that saber shirt, I mean, it's really... You could almost get away without temper at this point in time, but he just sold the Vorpal. I like his thinking.
Wait, he sold the Vorpal?
Yeah, I believe he just sold it.
Oh no, I probably would have kept it, but I understand where he's coming from. Against really high absorb fiends though, the crit rate matters a lot. Like, yes, it hits for nothing, but you have Saber. You have maybe fast temper. That crit's gonna make a big difference. But you know what? Like, Caleb could easily still find a better sword. Like, don't get me wrong, there's still an X out there, there's a Masa, but there's not that much else. Like, he's got the Sun Sword.
But if the Masa rolls like a -4 or a -5, because -5 is the max, I mean, that's gonna be just as useless as the Vorpal's gonna be.
I disagree a little bit with that. I mean, like, when I was doing my calculations on, like, average damage, the Masa -5 is still, like, the second best sword in the game or something ridiculous like that. Like the Moss is just such a good sword. But oh yeah, okay. So Thundercloud also correctly points out that the defense could like be like +5, and defense +5 is a pretty good sword.
And Rock Solid points out too. I mean, if you get a nice sword +5, you can make that work.
Yeah, so we definitely have some options. There's also 2 ice swords in the pool, which means you're more likely to find one of them. But I did want to point out Thundercloud, one of our more experienced players, pointing out that Chanigan's definitely a little bit confused right now. He is one of our newer players, and just, there is a lot of chests out there, and when you're playing with loose flag sets, you can't skip a single one, otherwise it can bite you. And he's unfortunately paying the price for that right now. So hopefully he remembers, but those Earth 2 chests, you can skip them a lot of the time. So, yeah, hopefully he figures that out soon. But he has full cleared marsh. He knows he didn't skip anything there. So I think he's gonna go to Earth next. And, that's what we're all hoping at this point.
And Caleb gets the crystal from the Fane. So he did this kind of backwards. He's probably kind of kicking himself for going to Matoya first.
Yeah. The bright side for him is that he gets the turn in the bottle and the slab at the same time. The bright side for Jay Scheidel is he gets to pick up the bottle and turn in the crystal at the same time. So kind of no major advantage either way.
Ooh, Adamant didn't even Invis shirt.
No, that is the defense sword, -4.
That is the defense sword?
Yeah, casting Invis.
Man, these weapons are pretty bad, except for the katana right now.
Yeah, so the weapons being this bad give advantage to the players who brought a black belt or a thief. Because the katana's great, and the black belt doesn't care about what weapon it has. All it needs is fists.
Yeah,
so,
the black belt doesn't need a brain or a weapon. It just point fist and it explodes. It's just how it works.
Yeah, and the black belt is also quite good at this like high HP scaling. And the other nice thing about the black belt is it really doesn't need tempers or sabers. It mostly just needs fast. And we should have at least 3 casts of fast if our black mages get to level 24, 25, 26 area.
And also, if you pump up your black belt before you class change him, you're gaining +4 magic defense level. So you could almost get away with not even having a ribbon on him. And then you could put the ribbons on your other characters, if you only find 2.
Yep, I agree. Also, I do want to point out that, I don't know if it was fast or temper, but slot 1 of Gaia, which is where both fast and temper are red mage learnable, or red wizard learnable. So Chanigan, for example, can pick that up, which is pretty good for him.
So our tails for sale in on-rack.
Okay. Was it expensive?
$11K, I think.
Pretty good price. So nice thing for our fighter-only players, or even better for Jay Scheidel. That tail you can promote right away, but why? You were mentioning, black belts +4 MDef. How does that play with the tail, and why do black belts not necessarily want to promote right away?
Well, because if you're gonna do a black belt grind, if you promote your black belt to a master, I do believe he only gets 1 magic defense per level. If you keep him as a black belt, he gets 4. So I mean, unless the Blurst classes have taken some of that out now. See, we don't know. Maybe the black belt's Blurst, maybe it's not so punchy now.
Luffy is making an important decision here. It looks like he's decided that he... Oh, okay. Speaking of Blurst classes, it looks like this black belt can cast white magic.
There you go! oh, well that's amazing for the grind.
Yeah, so he's decided...
pretty much just... Oh, well, his grind is on now.
Yeah, so he's... Yeah, that's pretty good. So he can grind this tile, and then maybe he goes and punches Agamas afterwards, or maybe he decides to do something else. We'll have to see, but that's gonna be so much easier for that black belt to get some levels quickly with that level 3 fade.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if you clear that black belt, you get your black belt up to 32. There's a great chance he's gonna one-punch Agamas.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks like... I think he's going to check the trap tiles here, though. I think he's looking for something a little better. Something he doesn't have to travel so far to get.
Wow, gear just terrible here. We just saw an Aegis -5. But Jay Scheidel is starting to skip some chests. So, if there's no weapon to be found... Oh no, he has a thief! Right, of course. Yeah. He already has the katana.
No, he hasn't gone back to check the key lock yet, so...
Oh, okay. So he
has it too loose. So is he gonna go back and check Keylock? Would you go back and check Keylocked Elfland?
I mean, I think he might be checking like greed chests and dungeons, and then maybe he opens up key locks, for example, just because he's still looking for a weapon. But you never know, like there could just be a free Masa like in Sky or something like that.
Alright folks, Shanigan I think has found his wrongdoing. He is back in Earth.
Okay. Positive thoughts for Chanigan here.
Oh my god. And look at this grind tile in Earth. The zombie dragons that are made of paper.
Oh yeah, these have no HP.
Oh man. Here comes level 50 Punch Man. This is going to give Luffy a big advantage in Topher if Caleb does not find a good sword.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if Caleb gets, not bailed out, but if Caleb finds a Masa +5 at some point, then, like, that advantage is definitely negated. But if he can't find a sword, or there's nothing but, you know, all negative swords, this black belt, it's going to be great. And this is a really good grind. It's not, like... it's just a good grind. I'm not even going to say it's not the fastest. It's pretty fast. It's a pretty good grind.
Gary's punching pretty hard. He's got 3 of Jay Shadow's characters down. Oh, fighter's hanging on.
Oh, he didn't get turn order. Oh, but low punch. Here it comes. Punch goes out. 3 hits. That's a pretty big hit, but this carry's got a ton of HP. He gets the turn order, though. Oh, no. That crit wasn't enough. Ooh, Carry gets the low roll. It looks like that one big punch was a crit, but he needs crits right back, and unfortunately, Jay Shidell takes a wipe. Now, the good thing for Jay Shidell here is that, like...
watching that. And that carry had upwards of 12 to 1300 HP, if not more.
Yeah, definitely something that's possible.
Meanwhile,
but yeah.
Luffy's just punching zombie dragons into submission right now.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think he's gonna do? You think he's gonna do 32, or with these classes, you think he's gonna go higher?
I think with the 150, 300 HP bosses, and also Black Belt crit rate is halved, I believe. Yeah, it is. So, it kind of feels a little like maybe you go like mid-30s or 42. I don't think just 32 is where you want to stop here, especially with Fast being unknown at this point for him.
And Caleb just bracking the Kraken, so he has his second orblet.
Yep, so Caleb definitely with a serious orb advantage, though Jay Shadell hot on his tail, although unfortunately he wiped on Chaos, Carry. But that lack of sword, that's the big question for Caleb. He has to find a sword somewhere.
Yeah, because I mean, if he doesn't find a sword, you can get the fiends down with nukes and fades, but it's going to take you a lot longer than Luffy. Once he gets fast, he's going to one punch everything pretty much.
He also, like, you can't nuke and fade 150 to 300% HP fiends. You can't do it for all of them, especially when you only have, you know.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, you might get Kraken, but I mean, and what do you see him at in Chaos? Are you
exactly
going to Chaos with an ice sword with a -1 sun sword and a saber shirt?
It's possible, but it's so risky.
So I think unless Caleb finds a good endgame sword, the advantage is definitely in Luffy and Jay Shidell's hands right now.
Yeah, assuming Jay Shidell finds
he gets
the katana. Yeah. Unfortunately, Chanigan walked right past the incentive box that he needed to go to again, so he's got some he's gonna have to go hopefully back there, just like not wanting to check that location. Like, of course, it's not that he's purposely skipping it. I'm pretty sure he just doesn't remember that those boxes are there.
Caleb is still checking a whole bunch of boxes, and with Luffy and the black belt, he's not gonna have to check many boxes now because he doesn't care if he gets a weapon. He's got gold bracelets. He doesn't care.
Yeah, I agree.
He can promote, so he doesn't need a ribbon because the black belt's going to be, high MDef. So I'd be surprised if you see Luffy open another box. I think he's just going to go straight to pound some fiends right now.
I kind of agree. I think he's got to take the grind a little higher.
Yeah, but I think he might. With Fade, you could almost walk and grind your way through Sky and Sea.
That's true. That's definitely true.
And if you hit a single shark, you can just punch it down. But if you hit the Sahags, I mean, you got Fade level 3. A walking grind is not a bad idea going through Sea and Sky.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Has he revived the rest of his characters?
No, he has not.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to. I think he's taking this Black Mage Black Belt to the end of the world.
That makes a lot of sense.
Well, yeah,
I think
he's
that
fast and.
Oh no! Here they all come up.
Here we go.
So he's decided he's had enough. Definitely going to be doing a little bit of a walking grind, but that's not like the One Punch Man of Destruction levels of black belt. Like that's a good black belt, but not like
that's a 100% cat black belt. This isn't a 250, 300% black belt.
Yeah, for sure. So it probably can do the trick, but it's going to need a little bit of help. It's not just like press A for all the fiends and win automatically like a level 50 black belt would be.
Yeah, like I did as a kid buying potions. I got a thumb wrench and I cranked it down on the A button and walked away.
And that's your Topher strategy with a level 50 black belt?
That's pretty much all you gotta do.
Okay, so Luffy has decided that Sky is going to be his play as well as Caleb. So Caleb, once again, has 2 orbs lit. Jay Shadow also with 2 orbs lit.
But I'm guessing Luffy's not gonna check a box.
I kind of agree.
Probably gonna check everything, because without an endgame sword, right now, in my opinion, Caleb has no chance.
I don't want to say no chance, but definitely hard.
Definitely going to take him a lot longer than it will Luffy.
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah, Luffy going straight past greater than less than floor, as well as Mirage, which are both fairly chest stands.
He's got his black belt. I mean, he doesn't need a weapon. He's got his 2 loose. I mean, what else does he really want to find? Nothing.
Yeah.
He's just gonna go beat up some fiends, do a walking grind, and hopefully he can get through Topher with what he has. But even if he doesn't, I mean, he knows where there's a good grind tile. I mean, it wouldn't take him long to pump another 10 levels into that black belt.
I could not have said it better. That's like exactly the black belt advantage here, so yeah. Meanwhile, Jay Shidell has decided to go to Onrak. Meanwhile, Chanigan did find the TNT. Oh no, he didn't. Never mind. He came to dwarves. Oh no.
He doesn't have a key. Oh, he does not know about that room.
Yep. You know what though? Like, as much as it pains me to see this is like really good learning, because he's never gonna forget this room exists ever again. And you know what? Sometimes you gotta learn it the hard way. And unfortunately for Chanigan, that's what's happening here on stream. But you know what? Hats off to him for going through this. He hasn't quit yet.
No, I mean we've all done it at the beginning. We've all missed something. I've forfeited races because I've missed stuff. I'm not gonna lie.
I've forfeited many races, and I sometimes don't even miss stuff.
Yeah, see, Luffy's just checking. Ooh, Ice Sword +4. You could almost make that work.
Ice Sword +4 is like okay, like that's doable. Oh, Pink Pajama's saying it's -4.
Oh, -4? Oh, never mind. Caleb's in a world of trouble here. Now I wonder. Well, he's got a black belt, so. And I do believe I heard Warmack was required, maybe?
Let me take a quick look. I don't remember seeing. Yeah, Warmack is required.
I mean, Mud calls with fast. That's pretty fun. Yeah. I don't think... Now, does Warmack fall into the boss pool?
Yes, he falls into the Fiend Refight boss pool.
Yeah, but does he have, like... Does he fall under the 300 HP?
Yes, he does as well.
Well,
so this is not a free Warmack. Like, he could have nuclears, he could have nuke, he can have Bane, Zap, Punch Hard.
This is far from free.
Oh yeah. Let's get your Mr. Destructoids out in chat. We don't even need to call for him. He will arrive, but we must greet him with robots, saying that we respect his nature and that, you know, he is our robot overlord.
Meanwhile, looks like Chanigan is going back to all the places that he went before, and I mean, I wish I could wish it to him somehow, but...
Yeah, actually, you know what? I hope Caleb knows there's a required Warmack here, because I don't know how he's killing it that easily. Like, this is gonna be this is a kind of scary Warmack fight for Luffy, but Luffy at least has a 32 black belt. How is Caleb killing this war mech?
I would say he's not.
I mean, the war mech could.
Unless Warmech rolls low and he gets some good rolls on his nukes.
Yeah.
I mean, he does have the saber shirt.
Yeah, I mean, if you go full defense,
Just a mess.
Invis 2, and like, hopefully get up to maximum evade and all that stuff, maybe you can like saber up enough, but this is gonna be sketchy for Caleb.
If Jay Scheidel decides to check chest and sky, he will get his katana.
Mm-hmm. But you know, Caleb is taking some fights, so his levels are looking okay. Like, his levels on his whole party are definitely better than Luffy's, but Luffy has a level 34 black belt already. This fight is definitely winnable for him. So, also Invis 2 on the fighter and the white mage.
Oh, well, yeah.
And on his black belt. Oh, and he has fast already? Yeah, no. Luffy is well prepared for this war mech. He knew
if he
this
gets
too.
turn order here with all these Invis 2s, he's gonna be in good shape here for a war mech, unless war mech decides to double nuclear or something.
Yeah, punch and a miss already, once again, because he already got off 2 Invis 2 casts. That's the key thing here about these 3 Invis 2 casters. He's going to be at max evade on turn 2.
Yeah, and now he's just gonna punch.
I think he's sabered first turn. So, like, he's got a fast off, he's going to have 5 stacks of evade, a fasted temper sabered black belt. So, like, he's definitely looking pretty good here. But Warmech just continues to punch. I wonder if this is the all punch script. That's not, like... That's a really good thing for Luffy, and also a really, really good thing for Caleb. Oh no, here comes some spells. So
fire tree.
Okay, so Luffy's got to start punching here, but these are going to be big punches.
Yeah, I think Luffy's gonna 1 to 2 shot this thing.
Ooh, highly evasive. That black belt should be punching 12 times, and it only hit 3.
8 hits. So this Warmech's at $2,000 right now. I can't see Caleb getting through this. There's no way Caleb's getting through 200. Well, there's 2,600.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough for Caleb. We have to hold our breath and hope he finds a sword here. But yeah, Luffy does get through. That black belt worth its weight in gold, and that is a heavy black belt. So
that Warmech was upwards of 3k HP.
Yeah. It should be maxing out at 3k, but yeah, it could be like at that 3k.
It's pretty much super max, I think.
Caleb, last 4 chests in sky. Hopefully he finds something. Ice -4 again. Yeah, just no swords to be found. Oh, okay, Caleb... Oh no, he's going back to the spider floor. So he did not check Sky 2, because he was going to check Sky 3 first.
Yeah, I think he did what most people do. They check one side of the spider floor, then they go on and check the other floors. If they don't find anything, then they come back here. I don't agree with that, because it seems like you're wasting a little more time. But I mean, for the amount of chests you find here compared to what's on ahead, I can see why people would do it. Meanwhile, Luffy will punch Tiamat's 10 heads there. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, but Caleb just not having any luck here. Where is this Masa hiding? Remember, the Masa could just be in the Temple of Fiends Revisited. There's no guarantee.
Looks like Jay Scheidel has class changed. So I don't know if he has a katana yet, but he is heading towards Kraken here.
And meanwhile, Chanigan, unfortunately, still just on the big think. Like, you know, you gotta hand it to him. He's still thinking, he's still working. Unfortunately, a little bit of a struggle for him here, but,
I mean, Luffy's got 2 orbs lit, Caleb's got 4 orbs lit. But I mean, in all honesty, I can't see Caleb getting through this Warmech. I just can't.
Yeah, is he gonna warp out or exit out here? Like, that's a pretty big time loss, but ooh, this is risky.
If he doesn't find anything, I could see maybe giving Warmech a peek, and then if you die, you know, go out and do something else.
Yeah, but he's gotten like 4 or 5 levels in here just from these fights that he's been taking.
Yeah, like, it's... I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if he does try to take on Warmech.
So, Jay Scheidel into the Sea Shrine. Meanwhile, Luffy just cleaning up the remainder of his key items. All he needs is the cube, and he will have entered Go mode. And then he's just got to clean up 2 of the faster dungeons in the game in the Sea Shrine, like Go mode Sea Shrine, Go mode Volcano. Those are really fast dungeons.
Oh yeah, Luffy's not opening another box. There's no reason for it. He's basically gonna walk grind through. I don't even know if he's gonna walk and grind. I think he's gonna go like this and hope for the best.
Yep, I agree.
And then if it doesn't work out, I mean, like I said before, you can pop out and you can get an extra 5 to 6 levels on that black belt pretty quickly, because you know where those zombie dragons are. They were pretty weak. They go down to a fade, so... Meanwhile, Shanigan is sailing north, and realizing that there's no dock. I just don't know what to say. Luffy's going to sea.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for Shanigan, like, I've been in this situation when I was a new player, and I literally messaged Greggly Puff and been like, Greggly, I'm not going to submit my time for, like, you know, a Duckling Weekly, but I need a hand here. Like, I don't know what I did wrong, and can you help me, like, think through it? And that's kind of what Shanigan needs at this point. But, unfortunately for him, like, you know, he's in a race setting, so hopefully he gets back and thinks through this and learns from it, but this is going to be a tough one for him. And Greggly, the Duckling Don himself is here in chat.
That's what happened to me when I first did it. Like, when I first started playing, I did a seed and I cleared every box. I could have swore, it's like, oh my god, what did I miss? There's gotta be something I missed. So I asked Sar and, you know, the old group when I first started. And I missed that one box in Earth that nobody ever goes to. And that's where I needed one.
Okay, so... Jay Scheidel is on the Kraken floor already. Luffy hot on his tails, and Caleb is going to Warmech. So while I do think that Jay Scheidel's and Luffy's sea dives are going to be, you know, important, pay attention to the screen in the top left, as Caleb is going to be taking on a somewhat sketchy Warmech fight here. It's definitely winnable. Like, don't get me wrong, he can win this, but this is not easy.
Clear air? He's got the orb lit.
No, I think he cleared Volcano. I think our tracker might just have the sky orb lit instead of the fire orb lit.
That's because I didn't see him go through the Warmech. Fire 2 is not going to work too good on the air hydras. They're pretty weak, so they're not a bad grind. Meanwhile, Luffy's just high-tailing, and he's right on Jay Scheidel's butt now.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're opening no boxes and just go-moding things, dungeons are incredibly quick. As I said, he left the 2 fastest dungeons to the end.
Well, he's in go mode too, right? So, I mean, he's just beating fiends and going.
Yeah. So, yeah, as you can see, this is the difference between go-moding a dungeon with high-level party and not. Like, Luffy was on floor 1 while Jay Scheidel was on floor, like, 4. And Luffy already, right behind him. Greggly Pup asking in chat, what's Shanigan missing? Shanigan didn't check Earth to bottom, which had the loose TNT, which led to the canoe. Okay, so we're going to have so much action on screen in a second here, but be ready. Top right, we're going to see Kraken. Bottom left, we're going to see Kraken. Top left, we're going to see Warmech. Here we go. I'm going to call the Warmech fight.
Caleb's demise.
Okay, he's going with Saber, which is definitely the right play. He's got a single Invis 2 caster. Warmech opens with Fire 3. That's what he wants to see. He needs things that don't involve him dying, and luckily for him, Warmech didn't have a super high hit rate, so he might have enough time to get his Saber cast up, but this Warmech has a ton of HP. The other thing Caleb needs to do is cast some Lock, because he needs to get those extra hits in. Invis 2 coming out, though. Good turn order so far. Fire 2 coming out, going for the chip damage, but that Black Mage isn't doing much. Lit 2, the Warmech, doing basically nothing. Meanwhile, Jay Scheidel has his fighter punched down, but the brackets had done Jay Scheidel through Kraken. Luffy starting on his Kraken fight. Slow 2, did that hit?
I didn't see. I was watching Warmech about to take out Caleb.
No, but Warmech cast Slow 2. Okay, it didn't hit. Thank goodness. Yes, this is a Force Warmech, but he is going out with the locks. Invis 2 cast can continue to come out. This is really, really good for Caleb. Getting those evasion stacks, and he just continues to saber up. Warmech missing, though.
I mean, he does have a chance if Warmech doesn't come out with anything bad, but it's just going to take him so much longer than it took Luffy. He's just going to fall farther and farther behind.
Oh, there we go, though. He's got
540.
Yeah, I mean, he's got like 4 sabers on him at this point. So, and Warmech, luckily for Caleb, has done nothing but cast like elemental AoEs that just have done nothing to his party. Now, the one negative to this is that Warmech having all these kind of free-ish spells means the later game fiends are going to be scary. But this is really, really good for Caleb.
Luffy's already got Kraken down, making his way to the volcano.
Yep, so Luffy onto his last dungeon. Caleb continued to fight this Warmech, but this fight is looking very good for him. He just needs this Warmech to not nuke out his 2 casters.
Shannigan is back in Earth.
Gonna recheck all the chests, but the problem with this is that he's already thought he's checked all the chests, so he just needs to like walk through the whole floor really, really slowly. And like just really, you know, be like, I have no idea where anything is. Pretend I'm just gonna walk through every single passage way to the end. Caleb's Warmech fight continues. He's probably going to take him down, but he needs this Warmech still not to have anything. He's gotten deeper in this Warmech spell list than anyone else, and Zap takes out the Black Mage. That's okay, though. He just needs that White Mage alive to cast Life.
It's the fighter.
And he gets it.
Yeah, if Warmech had been punchy or had anything nukes or nuclears, wouldn't have made it through.
Yeah, but you know what? You gotta play the risk sometimes, and with this Brack Sword, he's also not gonna have too much of an issue getting through Tiamat, most likely, so...
too bad. But he's still gonna be wondering where there's a good sword.
Oh, I also just realized, I'm just looking through the magic, I was talking about Life. Life?
Yeah, we haven't seen Life or Life 2, have we?
Yeah,
They must have landed level 8.
I think
the boat landed in Gaia, because I don't think anybody level 8 shops there yet.
Yeah, according to our tracker, they're both level 8 in Gaia.
Wow.
This seed.
Jay Shadell's checking boxes here. I wonder if... Ooh, is it ribbon? I wonder if he's looking for a katana right now.
I'm assuming he's looking for a sword.
So if he's checked here, I'm assuming he's probably going to head down and check...
Yeah.
Wharf Castle. So he's going to find his katana, and then he's going to be like, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I agree. Now, the one problem with the katana is just that the thief has a lower HP pool, so nukes can take out your primary damage dealer. And if you have your saber shirt on him and everything, that can be a big issue. But, yeah.
Ugh, Luffy just hit carry for like 1500.
Yeah, and Luffy, ready to enter the Temple of Fiends Revisited. We may see our first Topher dive here. Meanwhile, Caleb continues to try and fight Tiamat. This is just taking a while. Brack, you know, Brack only a 26.9% chance to hit. That can take time.
Well, were we telling people when people finished?
I think we're gonna stick to our on-screen runners, but we can, yeah, we'll stick to our on-screen runners for now, but we'll fill people in once our first on-screen runner finishes.
Perfect. And looks like Luffy is turning his adamant. Jay Shadow is now in Sky. I don't think he didn't check, so he still does not have his katana.
Yeah, but he is doing the rest of the key lock, so it might just mean that he needs to go, we'll see. But Luffy is about to be our first on-screen runner to enter the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
I like his chances.
I agree.
Oh,
he sees... Okay, exciting hype moment, get your hypes out in chat. Chanigan has found the room that he skipped.
Now, when he finds this TNT, I wonder what he's gonna do.
I mean, hype! Oh my goodness. I hope the answer is warp twice. And yep, that's exactly what he's doing.
Do not walk out!
So...
Luffy is in the Temple of Fiends at the 1 hour 16 minute mark.
Oh, that feels good. I am so glad that he found that. Like, you know what? No matter what else happens that run, he took that and he just... You know what? Kept looking, kept searching. He will definitely never forget those boxes again. Hey, we have a vanilla phantom tile.
Yeah, it looks like Caleb is heading in to get his Fort Fiend. So we'll see if the Fiends have anything difficult. I mean, you know, maybe Luffy's gonna see something he's not gonna like, because, I mean, he's not invincible, but... Meanwhile, Dick, Crown...
So Jay Scheidel and Caleb both on their final Fiend dungeons. Chanigan finally gonna be able to make some progress as he's gonna get his canoe here, which is super exciting. Meanwhile, Luffy in the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
He's got it, folks! The key to the city! Caleb's still digging for a sword. Meanwhile, Luffy about to take... Oh, no, he's almost at Lich too. Oh, I've forgotten lots of stuff, Carol. Don't worry. Cure 4 life to end life at Gaia? Ooh-wee! It's a
Yeah.
low level.
Yeah, that's, you know, when you want to say a loaded spell level, level 8 is not what you're looking for.
I'd like to see that at like level 1 or 2.
That'd be a great level 1 or 8.
But level 8, not so much. Caleb's diving deeper into the volcano. Jay Shidell is diving deeper in the sky with the thief down. And Luffy is just on Lich 2 floor and Shanigan is sailing away. Now if he decides to go ice first, this is going to be a good advantage because he's going to get the floater. And he's going to be able to cover a lot of ground quicker than the other guys did because they went to ordeals first.
Yeah, definitely.
So I like the fact that he's going ice first.
Wow. We found the Masa. It's the Minimu. The Masa -5.
Oh no! Caleb's gotta be like, uh-oh.
I mean, the Masa -5 is still a weapon you can swing, but wow. Okay, first positive Blursing, I feel like the entire seed. We found Dragonhammer +5. Jay Shidell, though, about to take on this Warmech with no life. He does not have his primary damage dealer Ninja up. Like, oh, he doesn't have a katana anyway, so this Knight with the Vorpal is going to have to do the trick.
Oh, Carrie's got Cure 4. So that's a good thing to see on Carrie. Then you don't have to worry about that on Chaos or the bigger fiends. But I think it's just going to be One Punch Man going here.
Yeah, so Carrie does take down his White Mage, so that White Mage is dead forever. No coming back.
Yeah, there's no... meanwhile, Jay Shidell is just pumping nukes and fades into Warmech here.
Yep, it will do the trick, slowly but surely. But Luffy down to 3 characters on this Temple of Fiends Revisited dive. Definitely still doable. Like, he's got a fast caster and he's got his black belt. That's really all you need.
Yeah,
but
as long as the black belt and the black mage stay alive, I mean, he shouldn't have much issue here.
Yeah, he also does have that kind of backup Invis shirt on the fighter, for example, to try and keep a few more punches. But here he goes. Invis 2 coming out. Gonna be going with... Ruse. That's a really nice pickup on that black belt. Fast coming out. So this... Oh, good turnover so far. Does he get the Ruse out on his black belt, though? And where does Kraken do? Kraken comes out with a nuclear. Big swing, but... Oh, the black belt survives with 25 HP. Luffy needs to kill this Kraken quickly, but goes for a saber.
Because he's got no way to heal that black mage. And if that black mage goes down, he's not going to have his fast.
Yeah, so he wants Kraken to punch, and he punches the fighter. Fighter's still up. This black belt's got to start punching here, though. But he's going to go for 1 round of saber. So this means that he's really hoping that this black belt can, like, 1 punch or 2 punch this Kraken. Kraken punches the fighter. Fighter stays up. Invis 2 casts continue to go up. This is going to lead to limited Invis 2 casts for later fiends, but this is probably the scariest one. Here comes the punch. Nuke coming out. Nuclear. Uh-oh. This is going to be a solo black belt if he continues on, but 6 hits, almost over 1,000 damage. This Kraken's not going to be long for the world, but unfortunately for him, he's going to be lacking all his defensive and offensive buffs that his black belt can't put out for later fiend fights.
But he has got the saber shirt and the Invis shirt, so the only issue here is can he get the Invises up before Chaos does much damage to him. And stuff like this is going to suck, because he's not really going to be able to run.
Yeah, this is where you grind to 42, question mark, by accident.
Yeah. He's gonna have to go to, I don't know. It all depends on Chaos. If Chaos comes out swing happy, and he gets the invises up, he'll be good. But if Chaos comes out spell happy, he's gonna be in trouble.
Oh, I want to turn our attention to Jay Shadell in the top right. He is man-moding this Warmech, kind of like what we expected Caleb's Warmech to go, but this is, you know, really tight for him here with just a solo fighter left swinging a Vorpal. Relatively unbuffed. Oh, and he gets hit with the slow 2. That's crushing. At this point, this is where you really need... Oh, but he gets through. Wow, what clutch crit at the end.
The power of the... Now he's in a situation, but he's got the Brack Sword +5. I do believe. So, I think he should be okay for Tiamat here. Meanwhile, Luffy punching down this Tiamat. Tiamat's doing some damage here. If he doesn't get turn order here. Oh, Tiamat with the ice too.
Oh, but he gets through. On 86 HP, does he have enough heal pots? Oh yeah, Luffy came in prepared. Jay-Shai gets the Brack. Wow, lots of action. And Caleb's in the Temple of Fiends Revisited. Wow.
And Shenanigans picking up his cube. He's got his floater and his airship, so he's really gonna come on now. He's gonna get a lot of his stuff done. Meanwhile, Luffy, well, there's no preparations that need to be done. You might as well just go right at her.
Yeah, so what's he doing? Bruising up right off the bat. This is huge. The fact he can stack evasion is massive. Gets turn order too. Oh, gets turn order again. This is really good for Luffy. And Chaos is missing already.
Yeah,
I like this play.
Sit there and punch. Yeah, and with that invis shirt now, he's at full physical evade now. So the only way Chaos is going to hit him with a punch is if he crits.
Yeah, gets the saber stacks off too. This is a good start, but ooh, that's a big crit. Almost 300 damage.
Yeah, how long do you saber up before you say, well, okay, now I gotta start throwing punches?
Yeah, here it goes. The punches go out. Ooh. Unfortunately, no locks and no fast means that he's going to be missing a bunch, but this is enough damage. Another crit through max evade. Wow. Okay, so Luffy's holding his breath here. Hopefully he can get, you know, into a rhythm here. Doing good damage, though. Oh, wow, that was incredibly unlucky.
3 crits through max evade. Chaos must have an awful high crit rate. Well, this is going to put Jay Shadell and Caleb in a bit more of a position, but they still don't have a weapon.
Yeah, this is really rough. And also, like, I don't know if we've realized, but, like, this black belt has access to all white magic. Like, this black belt was super broken with the Blur Sync, so I'm kind of surprised the other runners didn't run it. But, like, black belt, an absolute critical part of the seed, and even with the black belt, Luffy taking a wipe on 3 crits through max evade on Chaos, that was, like, it definitely can happen, but that was very unlucky for him. He definitely could have won that fight with a little bit better RNG. Yeah,
that or maybe another character alive.
Oh, well, yeah, that as well. So Caleb, Quaking Lich, not the highest percentage chance, but definitely can hit, and it's a good way to conserve some critical spell charges.
Not bad, 5 hits 281 with a -5 Massa.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, a -5 Massa is still a good sword. It's not the best sword in the game, but it will do the trick. The only problem it's going to have is its crit rate goes down to 2.5%. So that's really bad against the later Fiend, so he's going to have to switch to the Vorpal.
Yeah, and we really don't know if the Fiends have any high evade, because with a black belt, high evade really doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, the way Luffy was hitting Kraken, I mean, if he's got massive evade, Caleb might just be whiffing in the wind.
Sorry, I misspoke. The Masa has a 12.5 crit rate at -5, so still, like, okay, but not great.
Looks like Jay Shadell's just doing some magic shopping, throwing up his characters before he goes in.
Also, hypes to Caleb. He's checking the carry chests, looking for a sword.
Well, he's found all the swords.
No, he hasn't found the X-Cal.
Oh, I suppose. Well, he might as well check the vanilla war mech while he's at it. Or the vanilla Maz Moon chest. Question in chat. Gloom. Did any other characters that we didn't really see? We didn't really get a good look at the blur stings, so I don't know. But right now, the black belt seemed to have gotten all the advantages. As if he needed any more, he happened to get some more. I think Caleb's just going for full clear now. He's come this far. I like the warp trick he did though. He went down instead of up. Didn't want to fight Lich 2 again. It looks like Luffy is doing a walking drone in Topher.
Yeah, rock solid pointing out where I think Caleb might have missed the sword, which is mermaids or other sea chests. So we'll have to see if Chanigan picks up the X-Cal here. Also the Roostick. That is a pretty nice pickup. But Luffy quickly on Caleb's heels, already onto Lich. Meanwhile, Caleb is taking on Carrie too.
And Carrie just boils egg. And it doesn't matter if somebody dies, because there's no life spell anyway, so... That was probably the best character. Well, never mind. There goes egg number 2. Carrie wants to make a pretty bad omelet here.
Okay, Caleb through to Kraken. This is definitely going to be a test for his party, especially since he's down to just 2 party members.
Yeah, but Kraken only had about 1300 HP too, so Kraken was pretty light.
Basically a minimum roll. But going
the loafers.
Going pure offense, but oof. Not hitting that hard though, that's really good. I mean, that Dragon Armor +5, pretty good armor. And he's going fast Brack, knowing that this is this crit rate. I did actually get confirmation from someone that it is indeed a 2.5% crit rate on this Masa -5, so this is this is rough. Without crits. Oh, but he hits the Brack, that's a 6% chance. Wow, Caleb getting through with the resources he has available. Maybe he's going to try and Brack Tiamat too. Keep in mind that he has a Brack sword.
Yeah, he's going for the chest.
Caleb giving the fans what they want.
And for the memes.
See, the one good thing for Caleb is the fact that his fighter has huge absorb. The one negative is the problem that Chaos crits like crazy.
Yeah, this is true. And I mean, we don't know exactly what Chaos's evade or absorb was, so... Because with a black belt, you really can't get a good judge, right?
Definitely.
But meanwhile, Jay Shidel's on Lich too.
And
hammers. He Luffy's Kanado.
Luffy's back onto Kraken 2 already. Well, Caleb giving us a look at the much maligned vanilla Masa chest. Kraken coming out with that nuclear, but everyone's still up for now. Fast goes off. Hopefully he makes the adjustment here and goes a little bit more offensive.
Well,
ooh,
double nuclear.
Okay, everyone's still alive.
Well, he should know that Kraken only had 1300 HP. So, I mean, you know, one good shot from your black belt should pretty much give it to you right now. Because if Kraken comes out with another spell, Vivi's going down.
Yeah, this double saber, like, I am okay with a little bit, but, like, he's gotta start swinging. Because this Kraken, from his previous dive, he knows that it doesn't have a ton of HP. He wants to kill it before it kills him. Okay, so... Oh, his black mage does survive here, and the second punch does it.
Caleb is heading for... He just warped out, so now he's gonna head for Tia 2.
We'll have to see what his strategies are. Unfortunately for him, like, it's hard for him to get up enough defense to, like, go for Brax, but that... Okay, he's fasting, and... then we'll see what he does from then on. 291 gold from the vanilla Masa chest. Okay. Coming out with Blizzard.
So Luffy's caught up to Caleb right now. And I think Caleb's relying on the Brack strats.
Yeah, he's got a split strat going, so he's saying my knight's gonna swing, and I'm gonna try and get the lucky Brack. If he gets a lucky Brack, though, like, he could keep pace with Luffy here.
Well, Vivi's down, so... He's back just to Lucy here.
Yeah, but I mean, as we said before, like, Luffy's solo black belt on Chaos with Ruse and Invis shirt cast is definitely winnable. It's just...
H.I.L.'s having a little trouble with carry here. The Thief's already down, and the fighters... I think the fighter's swinging that Ice Sword at the moment. Or is that the Vorpal?
It's gotta be the Vorpal. Okay, so Caleb does indeed get Tia down. At the same time, Luffy gets Tia down. Meanwhile, Jay Scheidel doing another dive.
Yeah, carry left him kind of standing still there.
But
Shenanigans, nice thing. Shanigan is pulling his second fiend, Kraken.
yeah, Shanigan's made like a lot of good decisions. It's been relatively fast, except for that one really unfortunate chest pull. But once again, Luffy getting really good turn order on Chaos, going with 2 Ruse stacks, and he's at 669 HP and going to be at max evade in 2 turns.
Yeah, Chaos doesn't hit very hard unless he crits. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'd really be too gung-ho on the Sabers, because you know Chaos has got a high crit rate.
Yep, there
he's
it
gonna
goes.
get you.
He's got crit once already. He can get crit a maximum of 2 more times. But missing for now. Here comes the swing. First swing. Coming out. 1,000 damage. This will do the trick. Caleb, meanwhile, gets the fast off. Saber comes out. We've got Dueling Chaoses, people. It doesn't get much better than this.
Oh, Luffy got crit again.
Doing the damage, though.
Oh, turn order.
Hey!
And down he goes.
Okay, so Luffy, our first on-stream runner with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 33 minutes, and 57 seconds. He was our 5th place overall, with our first place runner Cheesinator finishing it with a 1 hour, 13 minutes. Ale Markin coming in 2nd with 1 hour, 18 minutes. DVS coming in 3rd with a 1 hour, 22 minute. And Pizza 34 coming in 4th with a 1 hour and 24 minutes. So GG to all of our runners. Unfortunately, right as Luffy finishes, Caleb takes a wipe on the big man himself, and that is, the CEO of the Center for Competitive Forfeiting has forfeit from this race.
Yeah, I was Caleb. I probably would have gave up too.
Yeah. But you know what? We have 2 runners still going on stream here. We got Jay Scheidel in the top right and Chanigan in the bottom right. So let's keep our...
we're going to get Luffy in for an interview, maybe, or Caleb? I'm not sure if he
Yeah.
wants to come in.
I will send them an essence. As much as I like, I don't mind 15-minute delays. I'm very happy that these runners are finishing in real time so we can get them right into the broadcast booth.
Yeah, we don't want to talk to the off-screen runners, 'cause they're not important.
Nah, they don't matter. They can hang out and chat. I was talking in post-race spoilers with some of the off-screen runners, just kind of trying to get a better feel for the seed, and it really did feel like that black belt was just absolutely essential to being victorious in this flag set. Not this flag set, sorry. This
black belt?
Pardon me?
I'm guessing the runners that finished all used black belt?
Yeah, the black belt was OP because it had white magic. Like, all white mage magic. That's really, really good.
See, that's why I like the black belt's good, but I just find it makes the game too easy. Like, there's no challenge to it. Like, I mean, if you're just gonna level them up and just punch everything, I mean, why play? There's no challenge.
Yeah, I mean, to each their own. I think in this case though, with like, it's open party comp. Oof.
Ugh, Scheidel's hurting big.
We are joined in the booth here by our first forfeiter on stream, Caleb. GG's, Caleb.
Thanks, man.
That was oofs for swords.
I mean, it was... Where was the ruse item? That's what I was opening boxes for. I figured Sky would have it because Sky, but Sky betrayed me, so I'm betting it was in C.
Well, in the Invis shirt you had.
I did not have an Invis shirt. I had a Saber shirt.
Okay, the Invis shirt was the reward from... who was that now?
Sarda gave me the white shirt, but the white shirt had Saber on it.
Yeah, there was a ruse stick in mermaids. There was an Invis something somewhere.
Yeah, some
Um,
key item was the invis. Somebody gave somebody the invis for. I
Yeah,
think
there might have been the defense sword was the only thing I didn't check.
yeah, the
Yeah,
defense sword was invis, so it was like a downgraded defense, and it was a defense -5 just to add insult to injury.
Nice. Did anybody find a reasonable sword?
there was
Evan
no reasonable swords.
Cheeseinator said that there was an XCal +5 somewhere in C.
Man, I spent all that time getting levels in Mirage when I should have been doing it in C.
I mean, I can't blame you. Like the chest density in Sky, like I thought that was definitely going to be the play, and like you opened a lot of boxes, but unfortunately, this was really a black belt tilted C.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like there's to take a black belt on a 2 loose seed is
Yeah.
that's a gamble at party select.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
We are also joined by our first on-stream runner here tonight, Luffy. GG's.
Hey guys, GG's.
GG, Luffy.
It looks like
man.
we have Sheidel's back on a grind here. He's found a Tyro off Power Cycle. And Shanigan finally found his canoe, so now he's making short work of the rest of this game.
Yeah, so maybe we'll pass things over to Luffy. How was, any kind of thoughts on the seed overall or anything for like I know that Temple of Fiends Revisited I've obviously had some drama for you as well.
Yeah, overall, I thought the flags were great. I thought it was a really good seed. It was pretty, in a way, sort of straightforward. It kind of steered you in a direction that was kind of made sense. Aside from a few little things here and there, but I think I heard you guys saying how the black belt was so OP, and when I saw that the black belt had white magic, I was like, oh, I got to take this guy and hope for an early fade and maybe get lucky. And the black belt really was kind of the key to the end of that, even though I took that wipe on Chaos through max evade. I don't know how that happened, but, so it goes.
Yeah, so I was talking to, I don't know if AL Markin is in chat, but he also mentioned that he took a wipe to Chaos with a super high crit rate and high hits with, also with, through 2 crits through max evade. So definitely a scary thing.
Yeah, I mean, when you got 6 stacks off, and then he's hitting for 300 damage, and you're like, oh, I'm trying to get this saber off, but I don't know if I have time. And then, what can you do?
Yeah, Thundercloud, a pretty experienced runner, was saying, Chaos definitely does have a high crit rate. So unfortunately, that can happen. But we were all cheering for you on your first dive, and with slightly better luck there, you definitely could have gotten through.
Yeah.
Caleb, were you upset when the canoe was the TNT turn-in because you knew that like your early dive wasn't gonna like get you quite the edge that you had hoped for?
Yeah. I was hoping it was going to be like cube or key or something. And then I've played a lot of these seeds where the northern docks are off and almost always both loose land in the inner sea. So I was like, I know the other one's here. And then it was just, I was like, hopefully it's key locked because a lot of people will probably go to Volcano and Ice instead of Ordeals, but I've seen a lot of Ordeals floaters.
Yeah.
And it was the keys. I was like, oh, maybe it's in the key locks.
Yeah.
And I'll go be cheeky and do the marsh key locks and all this mess. And it was just exactly that. It was a mess. Although I did find the 2 ribbons in my like circling back through key locks and Matoyas. And then but I kicked myself in the butt the hardest with the Matoya
bottle
check. Cause like I was like, I found the second loose super late. If you did this first, because like when I was sailing away from Provoca, I almost dropped a tent and just popped up there and then went to Elfland and I didn't. And then I was kicking myself in the butt when I found it and then I started like tilting. Like I need to find a ruse item. I need levels. I had seen levels 1 through 6 magic and there was no life spells, no cure 4, no fast, no temper. So I knew all that was 7+. So I knew I needed to promote and I knew I needed levels and also forgetting that the knight or the fighter could learn night magic was pretty awesome.
Wait, the fighter could learn night magic?
Yeah.
That was the worst thing?
I didn't realize it until I was in like the middle of Earth and I saw spell charges on the fighter and I was like, oh crap. And I knew a mistake was made.
Yeah.
A lot of mistakes were made with this seed.
That all happens, to be honest. It's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
not the end of the world.
Oh yeah, no, it's all good. I'm excited for Luffy, and Pizza coming in 4th place is pretty awesome for him. And Davis showing up, getting 3rd, and Cheese and Ale doing what Cheese and Ale do.
Yep. The great return of the weeklies was quite a success with 9 runners, competitive flag set, really interesting. One thing that was definitely big here, as well, was just, making sure that, opening the right number of boxes and things like that, as well as just, your routing, Caleb, was really worked well for you. So like, you said that there were some mistakes that were made. Yes, we didn't check that, but like for the most part, you were in a pretty solid exploration advantage on screen, just until unfortunately you just had to start opening boxes and boxes, trying to find the extra loose, making a few extra gambles that just unfortunately didn't pay off.
Yeah, I mean that's the nature with the 2 loose. Like you gotta gamble and pick your spots. And what carried me through spring tournament was making the checks that other runners weren't going to do, and that's going into Marsh when you don't have to, and going into Earth when you don't necessarily have to. When you're giving me a free rod and I have level 2 nuke and level 3 fade, I'm going to make it work. Yeah, it just didn't work out this time. So
yeah. So going back to our on-screen runners here, Jay Scheidel has decided that he needs a few more levels. Temple of Fiends Revisited did not treat him nicely twice. So he's going to take a little bit of time to get some levels on his fighter and his white mage, so that way he can get a few of those critical level 8 life 2 cure 4 charges, and also get a few more levels so he can swing a bit harder. Meanwhile, I don't know if Luffy and Caleb caught it, when they tuned in, but Chanigan, oh man, he just had the roughest early game because he full cleared everything, but forgot about the boxes on Earth 2, the bottom boxes on Earth 2 for an hour, and
man,
full cleared all of Marsh again. Went to Earth, full cleared all of Earth again, forgetting the same boxes, and then. But you know what? Like, props to him. He was like blazing fast for a new player, like right on everyone's heels until he just like walked past those boxes while everyone went and checked it. And then B, ever since then, he's been just like on a tear through the seed.
He got his canoe at about the 115 mark. He had no orbs or nothing. He is in go mode at the 145.
Yeah, so
awesome.
like
Good for him.
So he's just gonna clear up some fiends, and then he's good to go to toe for himself. So he's put a real charge on here at the end.
Yeah, so like big props to him. I kind of describe this like getting bickied, which is what the term that we in the community use to describe when you forget to talk to Bicky the pirate after killing the pirates, and you forget to get his key item. It happens to everyone once.
I've done it.
Then never again. And those chests will be scarred into his memory for the rest of his life. He's going to be 75 years old, and he's going to think of Earth, and he's going to see that chest. So, tough one, but it's a really good opportunity to learn. And that's really what these weeklies are all about.
Well, my first tournament I played in, I was racing Brought, and I killed the pirates and didn't talk to Bicky, and Bicky had the loot. And I went everywhere, cleared everything, checked every box. I was like, okay, where's it at? And then I forfeited, and then they said Bicky, and I'm like, never again.
Yep. Yep.
But meanwhile, we have Jay Shadow back in the Topher with some better levels on his fighter, so hopefully we'll have. So, what did you think of that Warmech, Caleb? We weren't sure if you were going to make it through because we seen Luffy go through it first, and that guy had upwards of 3k HP.
Oh, looks like Caleb's just on mute. But yeah, we were a little worried because we knew you were looking for a sword, trying to find something, and didn't quite do it. But I really liked your strategy. Like, you had a plan, you executed on it, and it definitely worked out well for you. The one concern we had was like if Warmech had any of those really scary fiend refight spells.
Yeah, sorry, I had stepped away for just a second.
Yeah, it's all good.
The Warmech fight was also part of the reason I was opening every box in Sky. I mean, with these sorts of clamps, I was like, well, War Mech can be really bad, and I don't have any evasion, and all I have is this Vorpal -2.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna need a lot of levels. So I guess I'm taking fights and opening boxes. So it's like I was really hoping to like get like 2 birds, 1 stone kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And in reality, I just made everything harder for myself.
You did get through though, which was like
Yeah.
a big props to you, because like, yeah, it was a little slow. Yeah, it was like not, you didn't find what you were looking for in Sky, but you did get the levels. You did execute on a plan. I think that saber shirt was like really a lifesaver for our fighter comps in this particular flag set, and even for our
Yeah.
black belt comps. Like Luffy really liked his his saber shirt.
I must have blanked real hard on the black belt when I was going through the menu. I just fixated on the fighter getting pre-promotion spells, and it didn't matter because I forgot about it anyway. But and I liked the white mage being basically a red mage, but with no black magic. And I was like, all right, I'll just compensate by taking 2 blacks. And man,
Yeah,
mistakes were made.
Once again, that's what these weeklies are all about, though.
Yeah.
Like we run these weeklies, like they're competitive for sure, but like we're on Race Time DG. This is where Kraken always back rolls and the points don't matter. We're here to have a good time and get some races out. And if you're gonna make mistakes, we make them now. And I think Blur's classes are a relatively new feature. I know I for one am not super familiar with them yet, and I'm still learning just how powerful it sometimes can be. And that's that's definitely something that will happen to all of us, I think, at some point. Luffy, you were going to say something?
No, I was just agreeing that saber shirt was kind of a little bit of a saving grace for that black belt at the end there.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't have that, I don't think I would have been able to punch through man moding it at the end.
Mm-hmm. The one adjustment that Hangry and I were saying, on your second dive through, that Kraken didn't have a ton of HP, so we were wondering if you were going to go like just slightly more offensive rather than like sabering up twice. But was there any consideration to like making adjustments on your second dive?
I mean, I didn't see a lot from him the first time. I thought if I can get decent rolls on the nuclear, that maybe the black mage would survive and get through to help me on Tia instead of needed on the first time going down.
Mm-hmm.
And just, I mean, I don't want to say I was kind of tilted from the chaos thing and trying to go a little faster, but I mean, I was pretty upset that I took that first wipe there because I felt like I was going real fast. It felt like it was a pretty good seed.
Mm-hmm.
I opened less than 60 boxes, which is not very many for me at all, which is good. Trying to work on that, but a little bit tilted, a little bit just trying to really just punch him down and go.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's totally understandable as well. Anthony asking in chat, did Caleb give up? Yeah, Caleb put up a valiant fight all the ways to chaos, but unfortunately he got punched down just at the last minute and decided to forfeit after a number of runners had already finished. So.
And Chadbert has finished in 6th with a time of 1 hour, 41 minutes, and 25 seconds.
Yeah, and on screen, Jay Scheidel onto the second fiend, and Chanigan already with 3 orbs lit. Like, as you said, 30 minutes after he got his canoe, he's got 3 orbs lit, has everything except the cube, and is just going. So big props to Chanigan here. I hope he has the cube. I don't see it on his tracker, but menuing too fast. Could not see it. But let's take our attention over to Jay Scheidel here, as Jay Scheidel is taking on this carry, and this fight's taking a while here. I'm wondering where his saber shirt is, because he does have that ninja with the katana +3, but like that double nuclear Kraken could be an issue for that low HP character.
No, he never picked up a katana.
Oh, he didn't find either of them. Oh, that's unfortunate.
He skipped
Kraken had double nuclear?
Yeah, he skipped all the boxes in Sky, and he didn't go to Keylock Elfland, so.
Yeah, he checked the other key locks. A little bit unfortunate. Okay, so he is all in on the knight, and that makes sense. I mean, this knight has 717 HP, so this is definitely doable, but needs some saber casts here. Yeah, pointing out to both Caleb and DVS in chat. Yeah, Kraken 2 had a double nuclear, not the nicest Kraken 2.
I thought for sure the RNG was going to be on my side for the Holoto for when I got that second attempt brack off on Kraken.
Yeah, that was nice.
I felt real good. I was like, I'm going to check the Masa box now because I had no intentions of checking that one until. Because I thought I was just going to wipe on Kraken. I thought that's where my run would end, but I made it all the way to Chaos. So
Gregory Puff, 291 gold in chat. Big hype. But yep, Chanigan is opening. Oh, it looks like he's checking this incentive box, but in this particular flag set, it is not incentivized. But he is just kind of go-moding things here. Also going to be running into kind of similar issues in Temple of Fiends Revisited as our other runners without a black belt have had. But here we go. Jay Shidell onto the big fish himself. Starting out with the fast. Oh, he does have the saber on his ninja. Fast going out. Oh, no, on his knight. Okay, yeah. Fast going out onto that knight. Invis 2 coming out, getting decent turn order here. Kraken, Saber coming out too. So full turn order. Kraken punches 416. Down goes the ninja. That is definitely the most expendable member of this party. So that's a perfect first turn punch. Nuclear, though, the first of 2 comes out. Big roll on that white mage. Invis 2 coming out. Getting
But
his turn order, but he
does.
needs that white mage up.
He does have Cure 4 on the white mage. He went
Oh,
back
right.
for it.
Okay, so
And
gonna
he has
burn one of
life
his.
too, as well.
He has 3 casts total. I think you have to burn something here, but he's deciding not to. But luckily, Kraken doesn't go with the second nuclear. Going to go with Invis 2 instead. Black Mage goes down. Fighter going to swing. How much damage is he doing here with that Masa? 172. It's not enough. He needs this White Mage to stay alive for this run to have a chance. But unfortunately for him, this Fiend is clamped at 150%. Second nuclear comes out. That White Mage didn't stand a chance. And this is a man-moding Knight with Vorpal doing very little damage. Now, we saw the man-moding Black Belt be able to do seal the deal for Luffy, but this is not quite the same case with just this knight. But he does get through Kraken.
Nice. I'm gonna take off. I got work early in the morning. Thanks for doing the broadcast, everybody. I'll see you guys around.
Yeah, thanks for hopping into the booth with us, Caleb, and GG's and good flex set. I think lots of people had a lot of fun with this one.
Nice.
Yeah,
thanks.
Thanks, man. That was fun.
GG Luffy, GG everybody. I'll see you guys around.
GG's, buddy.
Okay, we have Warmech on their bottom right. Well, Jay Shidell about to take on Tiamat with that solo fighter. Oh boy, Hangry, you want to take this one of the 2 fights?
I'm watching Shanigan's fighter swing for about 40 on Warmech, so this could take a while. He's putting up walls and nukes and fast, but I mean, well, Warmech really didn't have anything. Oh, there goes Root. One from Whoop.
Jay Shidell taking the Invis shirt strats here, getting that evasion stack up very slowly. This is where Invis is just so much worse than Ruse. It's taking him 6 turns as opposed to 3.
Yeah, and he still has the saber, so 1 bad spell from Tiamat, and this is all but over.
But he does have max evasion up here. I like, you know what? He took the play. Ooh, Swirl comes out, but that's a relatively low roll. Ooh, good damage. Ooh, this is hold your breath time for Jay Shidell. If you're a Jay Shidell fan. Okay, he's at the point where where Tiamat could die here. Quad X gets that ribbon, gets good turn order, and he gets through.
Nice.
Meanwhile, Shanigan's down to the White Mage against Warmech. And the Lit 3 Hammer's just not going to cut the mustard in this case. The Warmech has stun. Warmech has fire 3.
Unfortunately for Chanigan, takes a wipe to that Warmech. Yep, these bosses don't mess around, but here we go. Jay Shidell on to Chaos. Going to be a similar strategy, but Chaos not messing around. He gets, remember, this is 6 turns of Invising with no healing. But already starting to miss. This Kraken doesn't do a ton of damage. The problem is those crits. When he crits, it's going to be a problem. But this Knight has a lot of armor. Okay, going with the sabers. He knows he has to kill this one, but okay, going back to Invis.
Yeah, but see, Chaos crit him there for 81. Mm-hmm. He was critting Luffy for 300. You can just see where the armor's making the difference.
Yeah. Half the damage from criticals ignore absorb, but the other half don't, and that does make a big difference. Sabers coming out though. This is Jay Scheidel is going to be doing some big swings here. Let's see if we do a test swing. Here it comes. Test swing coming out. 4 hits, 1100 damage. This is a fighter doing black belt impressions. Solo Knight with the Invis shirt, making the plays, and Jay Scheidel making good, conscious safety decisions with the right item magic. Continuing to swing here, and he does it. The solo fighter, the madman himself, Jace, gets through, and Jay Scheidel, our third on-stream runner, 7th overall, finishes with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 57 minutes, and 45 seconds. So GG to Jay Scheidel. Wow, that was a gutsy, impressive Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Nice, man. GG's.
And we'll see if he wants to join us for a quick interview here.
So Shanigan is our last runner here. So let's cheer him on. Go give him a follow or go to his channel, chat him up. Hero of the night, sticking it out.
Yeah, I mean, we really should emphasize just that, like, he was 45, 50 minutes slower to get his canoe because of missing that chest. And he's, if he didn't have that, he'd be in a very competitive time.
Okay, let's put it this way. Me and you were running this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get the canoe because I missed the chest at 1 hour 15. I hit the big FF right away.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's no waiting. It's just forfeit.
And we are joined in the booth by our third place on-stream runner, 7th place overall, Jay Scheidel. GG's.
Thanks.
Little chuckle.
Yeah.
How was your return to the
I don't think there
weeklies?
was too much to chuckle about with that seed though.
You kid. I felt really great up until Kraken 2. Or until Carry 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oy vey.
I did want to give you some massive props though for finding the line that had the best chance of working with that solo fighter. I honestly didn't think you were going to make it through, but you really made that item magic work.
I didn't think I was going to make it through. There was a chance. It was just hold A and pray.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was hold A and pray, but you also did make sure you got your 6 evasion stacks up. You determined how many saber casts you wanted, and then you did it. So, yes, it was hold A and pray for the most part, but that execution made a big difference. And also just having that plan, I think, was essential instead of just going out swinging, for example.
Oh, yeah. It was get the invis on, get the saber on, and then good luck.
Yeah. I think it really goes to show, though, just how powerful the defense sword is compared to that invis shirt, because, man, 6 turns feels like an eternity compared to 3.
Well, or even just the white shirt with the 2 or the full party cast of invis.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that was a significantly worse defense sword. So just as a little bit of catch up for you, so Luffy finished first with black belt strats, as the black belt was really powerful with the white magic available to it. Yeah, both katanas rolled +3, but you left one behind on Sky and also one in the Elf Castle key locked. So we were really hoping you'd pick one of those up, but that was a little bit unfortunate for you. Definitely made sense, what you did. It just was, we were being hey, that thief is going to have its moment in the spotlight, but didn't quite work out.
Nope.
And then Caleb wiped on Chaos and forfeit. And and do you want to give what happened to Chanigan, Hangry?
Yeah, Shanigan skipped Earth 2, the lower room. So he didn't find the TNT, which led to the canoe, till about 1 hour and 15 in. He double dipped Marsh. He double dipped Earth. He forgot the room twice in Earth. He went to Wharfs. He went back to Bicky. He went to Matoya's. He went everywhere. So, but give him props. He got his canoe at about 1 hour 15. He was in goal mode about 30 minutes later.
Nice.
Yeah, and so, and here he is fighting Warmech. He's wiped once to Warmech, doesn't quite have the levels. One thing that's really making a difference for him is he just doesn't have a great sword like everyone else. And those 150 bosses, 150 to 300 HP, just means Nuke and Fade is just not nearly as good as it would be on, say, the Duckling flag sets.
Especially since we know Warmech rolled upwards of 3. Upwards of max. He was very close to max.
It's good for Chip, but won't take him down.
Yeah. I mean, it will give it enough time, but Warmech also does stuff, too. He's not a war machine that just sits there and takes your nukes and fades.
Oh, I just want to speak to the manager of the shop of level 8 white magic.
You mean he hoarded all the good stuff for himself?
Yeah. Where's Cure 4? Where's Life? Where's Life 2? I went the entire seed. Just okay. Did I miss it somewhere?
Nope.
Boy.
All in Gaia, and yeah, he gets hit by that slow 2, unfortunately, on his knight, down to just a lit 2-3ing white mage, and this war mech is just being an absolute brick wall, and unfortunately for Shanigan, it doesn't get easier. Like, this war mech is just a preview of what Temple of Fiends Revisited looks like, and whether it's Carry 2 giving you problems, Kraken 2 with his double nuclears, Tia and Chaos with their, like, crit through max absorb, or evade, like, this is not for the faint of heart.
Ooh, I didn't see that.
Didn't see.
The crit through max evade.
yeah.
Luffy can tell you all about crit through max evades.
Ormac just fasted himself.
Oof.
And unfortunately, Chanigan has forfeit at this point. But you know what? I want to give out massive props to him.
Oh yeah, you have to.
Hangry and I were like, if we get the canoe at 1 hour and 15 minutes, we forfeit immediately. We like shame forfeit. We don't show our face in the community. Chanigan was like, you know what? I'm just gonna roll with this, and I'm gonna like get go mode, keep my chin up, do everything I can, and do it really, really fast. So like, big props to him. We'll have to see if he decides to join us for an interview here, because I would love to hear his thoughts.
Yeah,
And then we'll wrap things up.
I mean, major props to him. I mean, I don't know too many of us that would have stuck that out the way he did. At least not without a broken keyboard, maybe a mouse across the room, something like that at least.
Yeah. That's where you put your headset on mute, and that's all I'll say. And hope you don't have any breakable objects nearby.
Yeah. Earmuffs.
So he does say that he's going to join us for a quick interview. So we're going to get a little bit of thoughts from him, and then we'll go around for our final thoughts and wrap things up here on Randomania. But, while we're waiting, I did want to just take an opportunity to give shout outs to our fantastic restreamer tonight, Dwight. He did a great job. I want to shout out Randomania for having us. And here we go. Joined in the booth, the man himself, Chanigan. GG's.
Hey, thank you. That was a hard run. Oh boy.
Yeah, no, you know what? Like, we were our thoughts were really with you there, just like sending you Earth 2 bottom thoughts for like the first part of that seed.
I searched for that TNT a long time.
Yeah.
Did you know that room was there, or did you just?
Yes, I just forgot about it.
Yeah. We kind of figured.
I gotta give you mad props for sticking it out, man. Once you got that canoe, you were just on fire.
Oh yeah,
you were in go mode like 25 to 30 minutes later.
Yeah, I just went that TNT really was the roadblock on that one.
Yeah, well, and then after finding that you really wanted to go fast, and you did go fast, but then Warmech just that forced Warmech giving you a kind of preview of what the Fiend refights would be like.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew he was going to be a roadblock, but damn, not that hard a roadblock.
Let's put it this way: there's not one of us in this combo. There's not one of us on the server. There's not one of us who plays this rando that hasn't forgotten something.
Yeah,
like I beat the pirates and then forgot to talk to Bicky to get the item.
Oh, yeah, that's why I talked to every NPC while I was searching for the TNT. I was like, maybe I didn't talk to one of the NPCs somewhere. So I just went back and just talked to every one of them.
Yeah.
It wasn't hurt.
Well, you did find it eventually, and as you said, like,
yes.
And the other thing I wanted to point out too is like you're like a slightly newer player in the community, but like you were neck and neck with everyone all the ways up until that TNT. So like big props as well there.
That's nice.
One other kind of comment I will give you is that Brack was kind of the way through Garland in the early game using that insta-death.
Yeah, I forgot about it and just went on my way and just come back and Brack was there, right?
Yeah,
I had it in my notes and
I liked your adjustment though.
Forgot about it.
Like if there's no magic at level 1 going to Provoca to get nuke, like that's a great play. So like you didn't even lose that much time there.
Yeah, I died 2-3 times against Garland, something like that.
Pretty fast though, so not the end of the world. Yeah, awesome. So it's getting a little bit late here. We're going to go around with for people's kind of final thoughts, and then I'll let Hanger and I will wrap things up here. So why don't we start over with our first place runner on stream, Luffy? Any kind of final thoughts?
That was a really fun seed. I think that the flag set was great. The two loose is pretty similar to a tournament a few years ago. I remember watching on YouTube, so something I was pretty familiar with.
Mhm.
Thank you to you guys for comms. Thank you to Dwight for the restream, and Caleb for rolling the flags. It was just a lot of fun.
Awesome. Jay Scheidel.
Mostly that carry can just burn.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But thank you, everyone. Been great. Been fun.
Awesome. Passing it over to Chanigan. Your first restream for Final Fantasy Randomizer. Any kind of final thoughts on it?
I know that was stressful. At the beginning, I was kind of stressed. First time streaming a randomizer. That was something, but yeah, after a few minutes, stress was all gone, and yeah, a few misclicks here and there. I changed my button mapping. I reset it a few times because of that, but it was a fun scene. Thank you guys for commentating. Yeah, I learned a lot on this run.
Awesome. Yeah, no problem at all. So I'll do a few things and I'll pass it over to Hangry to wrap up. So yeah, thanks again to Dwight for restreaming, Danny and RockSolid84 for tracking, as well as my co-commentator, Hangry Canuck, for sticking with me. Thanks for Randomania for having us here tonight. A couple of races coming up for people to be aware of. We have the Randomania Weekly every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the SG Weekly on Thursdays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and finally, we have week 3 of the Duckling Derby Boot Camp, Sundays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on RPG Limit Break. If you're interested in checking this out, definitely come check that out. You can join the Discord, you can learn, and you can be one of these runners on the restream in a future week. My name's Jat, and this has been a blast, and I'm going to turn it over to Hangry Canuck to get us out of here tonight.
You said it all, man. All I got to say is thanks to the viewers for watching. It was fun. Haven't been on the mic in a while, so it was good times. Thank you, Jat, for chatting with me for a bit, and join the Discord. If you have any questions about the game, join the Discord. The community is more than welcoming. Any number of us would help you with any number of things you have. So for me, I guess that's it, and I hope you all have a good night.